Good morning, Raptor Freaks. Alexiot's here. It's Friday morning, and we're Friday freaking out because CBL action is fantastic. Yeah, look at this cool shirt I got yesterday at the CBL Play-In game. The tickets were only $35, and they gave everybody free shirts. CBL is really good, man. I'm telling you right now, man. It's so good. What a great product the Canadian Elite Basketball League is. It's just awesome. Like the game is really good value. There's very good high quality basketball played. You can sit up close. And look at this. They had a playoff game last night and they gave me a free playoff shirt sitting in my seats. The Raptors aren't even giving free shirts out at this point. Look at it. Isn't it cool? Eastern Conference Playoffs 2025 Canadian Elite Basketball League. And of course, it was Scarborough Shooting Stars versus Montreal Alliance. And it was a fantastic game. It was action-packed, dunks, steals. The guys on the court were getting after it. It was very physical. They were rolling around on the ground after loose balls. It was just high-quality, fun basketball. And Scarborough won. Scarborough won, defeating Montreal Alliance and moving on into the next round against the Ottawa Blackjacks. They'll play tomorrow at 1 p.m. in the next round of the CEBL playoffs in the Eastern Conference side of things. Also, last night, Calgary Surge won their play-in game against the Edmonton Stingers, and they move on to play Vancouver tomorrow in the afternoon game in the next round of the CEBL playoffs. So, yeah, it was an amazing game, man. Amazing game. Of course, Montreal is highlighted by Toronto Raptors 905 player and Raptors Summer League player and Team Canada player who will be playing for Canada at AmeriCup, Quincy Guerrier. And Quincy was badass last night. It was so fun to watch Quincy up close and real in person because, man, that guy filled it up. He was really trying hard to help Montreal win, and he got 30 points and was just rebounding like crazy. He was hitting threes. He was doing a lot of offensive rebound putbacks. Quincy's awesome to watch in person. And it kind of, you get the gauge of how the talent stacks up through the CBL into the NBA by seeing a level, the level that Quincy's at, and knowing that he's not on the Raptors, but he's on the 905. And then you know where he is on the 905 in his position. And then you see how he is on the CBL, and you kind of can gauge the levels of skill in the different places. But yeah, he was dominant, but he was the only one for Montreal that was really, really playing at a very, very high level last night. Now, on the other side, Scarborough Shooting Stars had a couple of guys that were really turning it on, and that was Torquavion Smith and Williams. He was really, really good. Williams was really good. He was mixing up, going inside, and shooting threes also. Donovan Williams. Out there, Scarborough Shooting Stars have a big front line. Their two forwards and their center are all really big dudes, and they really are an imposing team, really, really opposing team. And then you add in G League standout from last year, Torquavion Smith, and that dude is a baller, man. He may take the shots too often, but man, he shot 50% from three last night, 7 of 14 from the line, 3-point line, and really, really buoyed Scarborough Shooting Stars' victory over Montreal. It was amazing. The house was packed. The vibes were immaculate. Jamal McGlure was there. I said, "What up, Big Cat?" He waved to me. He said, "Hey, how you doing, Raptor Street?" He didn't say Raptor Street. And then Joel Anthony was there also. Not Raptor, but NBA Canadian Larry O'Brien champion of the Miami Heat. Joel Anthony was there also. It was just a fun event. No Chris Boucher there though, unfortunately. But I know where he was last night. I'll tell you where Chris was, but he wasn't at the game last night. So Scarborough moves on and goes to the next round against, as I said, Ottawa Blackjacks tomorrow, and that game will be in Ottawa. So yeah, this was the end of the Scarborough Shooting Stars CBL season at home. And, well, they can continue to go on. They have to win 3 more games to still win the championship. So it's like it's going to be interesting to see who wins CBL. But I cannot recommend more going to CBL games, wherever you're going to go. I mean, there's the one coming up in Winnipeg. The Winnipeg finals, the Western Conference finals for the CBL will be in Winnipeg, and they're having a huge festival for it with musicians and all kinds of stuff going on. The CBL is really get great strides and becoming more bona fide, more quality, and just top notch. And I'm here for it. Straight goods on Canadian goods. Listen, if weird things happen, CBL might be our thing, y'all. It might be our thing. And I'm not upset about that in some ways, because in some ways the CBL is a fantastic product and I love it. And they gave me a free shirt last night for $35. This shirt would be $35 at the Raptors game, but and admission and the shirt, $35. Come on, man. You can't beat that. Pull up. That's what they're saying. Pull up the CBL games, man. I'm telling you, man. I know that a lot of y'all have been going to CBL games this season. Fiercey just went last week. I know that Isaac's gone many, many times over the years. I know that Trucker Kaz and other people have gone to CBL games. Some of y'all went to the Calgary game out there. People are going to these games. It's fantastic. It's fantastic. I love it. The growth of basketball in cities like Winnipeg, Saskatoon, and out in BC and Niagara, it's fantastic. More and more people want to watch basketball. And I'm telling you, the CBL is a high-level basketball. There's a lot of good players in this league, and a lot of them are Canadian, and they're from the cities that they play for, which is another awesome thing. It's a very, very awesome thing. Of course, we love the mascot of the Scarborough Shooting Stars, Enzo. Enzo's a hilarious alien from space, and he's funny. He's funny. If you go to the game, you'll see him do his very amazing moves. The man has dance moves. He's just like that guy. He's doing all that stuff that the kids do right now. And he got out on the court, and everybody goes crazy because they see that blue alien start doing some dancing out on the court and stuff. he's got moves. Let's just put it that way. And he's hilarious with the kids also. So the Scarborough Shooting Stars have an amazing mascot. Amazing mascot. We went, and Adriana went with me, and Adriana got an amazing OVO Scarborough Shooting Stars hoodie. Yeah, OVO owl in black on a hoodie with the blue Scarborough Shooting stars across it. Really, really nice hoodie. They have all kinds of great apparel. And I'm just saying, man, there's a vibe to these games. It's not Scotiabank Arena. You know how there's a vibe at Raptors games. There's a vibe at CBL Scarborough Shooting Stars games. And it's a good vibe, man. It's a really good vibe. It's very grounded and real. And it's it's more representative of the borough of Scarborough, which is a fantastic thing. I'm not dissing it. It's a good thing because these are real hardworking people that are, good people. They're good people at the Scarborough Shooting Stars games. I know y'all have had different experiences at different games, Ottawa games, Montreal games, Calgary games. And I'm sure that each arena has its own characteristics and fun to it. But man, I'm really enjoying CBL. And I think that, next summer, I may have to be going to CEBL and Tempo games next summer more often. I went to 2 CEBL games this year, and I enjoyed the hell out of both of them. I really did. I think Adriana had a really good time too. She thought that the game was exciting. And for $100, you can sit courtside at CBL and actually almost get ran over by the players. You know how that is when you sit in the front row. Well, that playoff game last night, the play-in game, was pretty intense. And a couple people in the front row almost got shacked, if you know what I mean. You know what I'm saying? So it's only $100 for courtside. It's crazy, y'all. It's crazy. It's a really, really good value. Trevor J is here and back. Yesterday's Trevor was sick, and it was too bad that we missed his absence. We love the Commissioner of Fun, and I was wondering what was up with him. I'm glad it wasn't that he had to fly to an island to straighten some contractor out this time. It's much better that it's this, and I hope he's just feeling better. Let's see what he's saying. Life is so much better when you start accepting to face what it is, when you stop finishing things that aren't already with you and allow things to flow naturally. Yeah. I mean, if you manifest flow, if you manifest what you want in your life, you can do these kind of things. There's a way of manifesting. If you really get in tune with the flux of life and you're realistic about it and you put realistic goals, you can get things to happen. You really can. Manifestation and mental pre-thought can get you a lot of things. Intention. You'd be shocked. A lot of times it's true when you say to yourself, Well, you could either do it or you can't do it. It depends on what you tell yourself. That's true. If you tell yourself you can't do it, you can't. If you tell yourself you can, you can. That's really that simple. Yeah, getting in the flow of manifestation is a really, really beautiful place to be. And sometimes, if you're in the flow of accepting life on life's terms in the moment as it comes, you can really, really live life to its maximum. You just have to be in touch and in tune with the present moment, and you have to have a grateful heart. That's it right there. Trevor J, I appreciate you so much. And I did miss you yesterday. I was concerned. I was like, Trevor's not here. What's going on here? What's going on here? Trevor's saying, when you trust whatever it is means for you, it will find you. There you go. There's another part of it. Trust in your path in life, and your life will hopefully cross with the things and the people and the other things and the places that are meant for you. And that is awesome. Yeah. Trevor's saying that yesterday I had a bad stomach problem. That was my absentee. I hope you feel better. I hope you got the Pepto. I hope you got the rest. I hope you got the liquids. I hope you got whatever was the issue passed on. If you know what I mean, sir, Mr. Jones. I appreciate you so much, man. You're awesome, man. James said, nice tee. Yeah, isn't that a cool tee? Free shirt. You can't get mad at a free shirt, right? When I walked in and I saw all the shirts on every single seat in there, I was like, holy crap, CBL is arrived. They're giving free shirts out on the arena just like the Raptors would for the playoffs. I was like, that's badass. That is badass. Free shirt. It's not a Scarborough Shooting Star shirt. It's a general CBL playoff shirt, but it's Eastern Conference playoff shirt. And there's a Western Conference version of this too. But you can see on the shirt, the CBL championship is on here. And this championship is really Canadiana. It's a really beautiful trophy. If you haven't seen it in real life, with all the maple leaves all in the middle part, and it's pretty tall. It's a pretty tall trophy. Like, it's tall like the Larry O'Brien, and it's just so blinged out. Like, it looks like a badass Canadian basketball trophy because it looks very Canadian, but it looks so trophy-like. In some ways, it makes that thing behind me look ordinary. Let's just put it that way. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Isaac put me on blast. There's the 5 Lex starting lineup. That's right. I'm at point guard, center, and small forward, and I will be cooking you at all positions. That's right. That's what we're doing here today. That's right. Let's go. Seymour Pape checking in from the Calgary time of the mountain time, the city slicker. Where's Jack Palance this morning? Goes Calgary, goes Scarborough. That's who you got, man. Boom, boom, boom. You got your teams are through. Surging and shooting stars through to the next round of the play-in, through the play-in into the playoffs. And now it's Vancouver and Ottawa next on the slate for Calgary and Scarborough. Seymour is happy. His 2 polls of basketball loyalty have gotten through. That's right. Go Scarborough, go Calgary. Boom, boom, boom. Goes the dynamite. That's right. Kaz is saying, good morning, Lex and Rap Free Crew. Nice shirt, Lex. Thank you, Kaz. Yeah. Salute to Seymour also. Yeah, it was, it was just really fun. Those things are like a party. You know, there's a lot of really cool, like, man, it's just a cool atmosphere. I love it. And like, I swear there's so many like big people in Canada. You know, seriously, I go to this game and there's like so many tall ass people at these CBL Scarborough games. They're like, I can tell some of them are basketball players that are playing at different levels. Some of them are just friends of the players, family. And I'm just like, holy crap, there are some really big people in Canada. You know, like big muscular people, big, huge, tall people. Yeah. And I swear there was a player there that was like 7'3" that wasn't playing, that was sitting in the front row. I kind of recognized him as some sort of Canadian basketball player, but I didn't remember who he was. But the man was the tallest man in the room, and he looked like he was about 7'3". And I was like, holy crap, that guy's tall. It's just like that, man. It's just like, Cass, let's go check in on our WNBA. Of course, there was no games last night. So let's go ahead and do the ref report for today. We're back on the slate with 5 games in WNBA action today. Washington will visit the Indiana Fever. Angelica Suffren is the crew chief. Gina Cross and Paul Toomey will round out that ref crew. Golden State Valkyries at Chicago Sky tonight. Amy Bonner will be in charge with Claire Aubrey and Jeffrey Smith as the other refs. Los Angeles Sparks at Dallas. Ashley Gloss, Marcy Williams, Gerda Gatling. The Seattle Storm at Atlanta Dream. Maj Forsberg, Randy Richardson, Tony Patillo. And Las Vegas Aces at the Phoenix Mercury, Michael Price, Teresa Stuck, and Kelly Broomfield. That is your ref report for WNBA action. That's right. Get your lineup set up. It's the last week of the regular season in our fantasy WNBA league. And, well, the playoffs will start on Monday. So get your team set in the right place in the last matchup so that you like your seeding for the playoffs. That's right. Kaz is looking good right now against Fiercey in his matchup. That's for sure. Yeah. Seymour saying salute to Trucker Kaz. Finally Friday. That's right. TGIF crew, y'all. Y'all a TGIF crew? Let's TGIF this bitch. Yeah, TGIF, TGIF. It's the weekend in August. Yeah, let's get a little happiness about the end of the week with a TGIF. There you go, TGIF. That's right. Let's go. Let's go. All right, Kaz is saying this. I believe the Blackjacks versus the Shooting Stars game is in Gatineau because the arena at TD Place in Ottawa is already being used for another event. And I love the CBL 100%. That's interesting. That could be true. I don't know. I don't know anything about these particulars, but Kaz seems to be on top of it a little bit better. That may be true. I don't know. Ottawa Blackjacks, Scarborough Shooting Stars, 1 p.m. tomorrow, guys. And maybe I'll do a watch party for this on the Discord, guys. If people are interested, I'll get on the Discord and watch these games like I have been recently with Austria and Jamaica. And maybe we'll watch the Scarborough Shooting Stars game as a Discord bonus members only watch through the channel. Yeah, if you're interested in watching that Scarborough Ottawa game, I'll watch it live through the thing with you guys if you want. Yeah, let's keep going. Kaloy's here. Good morning, Lex and Raptor Freak family. Happy Friday. Happy Friday to you, Kaloy. Hope you're doing very well. And, of course, always happiness to your whole family, including Santino. That's right. Isaac saying Ottawa Blackjacks just lost Javante Smart to Team USA America. Their playoff game is tomorrow. Yeah, their playoff game is tomorrow against Scarborough Shooting Stars. That's right. Scarborough had to win last night. They're going to play whoever. Ottawa's going to play whoever won the game last night I was at. And, well, they're going to play Scarborough. Scarborough actually kicked Montreal's ass. And they were winning in the fourth quarter by like 15 points. And they play the Elam ending, right, guys, in CBL. They had the target score was 92 last night. And it was like just before this target score, it was like 83 to 68. And then the target score would be 92, right? So Scarborough only had to score 9 points. And, well, you see how much Montreal had to score from 68 to get to 92. And it got a little hairy. It got a little scary because Montreal started playing an amazing defense. Really cutthroat defense, just all out, like getting on the floor, just trying everything they could to stop Scarborough from scoring that last basket. They were sitting at 90, and it was like 90 to 70. And, well, you see the final score. The final score was 90 to 86, 92 to 86. So you see just how much Montreal scored a whole bunch and held off Scarborough in the last bit of the game to really try and get. It was getting a little weird. I was like, man, this would be the biggest choke if Scarborough lets Montreal come all the way back and win this. It would be such a choke. But the coach of this Shooting Stars called a timeout and drew up a play, and they got it done finally. It was Foster, I believe, who hit the last shot. Michael Foster Jr. He had a rough game. He had some really bad misses and bunnies, but he made a putback, offensive rebound putback at a very crucial time to win the game and end the game at that. But it was a little stressful because Montreal was doing a good job holding off Scarborough from scoring at the end of the game, and they were making it up. They were running back the other way and getting layups and eating up that lead. Like I said, it was 83 to 68 when they did the Elam ending. And the final score was 92 to 86. So they were coming. Montreal was coming. They tried really hard to come back. They tried really, really, really hard. Seymour saying, I'm not a fan of owls. Its neck can spin fully around and not even spin back. Nah, y'all, I ain't messing with no owl. I love it. I love it. This is an amazing comment. I'm going to give him a dunk for just like being honest and like confessing about owls. And like, I ain't about these owls, man, because they can spin their heads around. what is this, like a horror film, like Exorcist thing? You're afraid of people and animals that can spin their heads around, Seymour. I mean, I get it. Linda Blair was pretty scary in The Exorcist and the old classic horror movie. But owls are great. What are you talking about? Owls do have a weirdness to them. There's like a mysticism to them. They've always been like a weird animal to the ancestors, and different people have looked at owls in different ways and interpreted them as different signs. Of course, the owl has also been very much used by secret societies as a symbol, as a underlying code in a secret society and within our society. You might see owls in places downtown in Toronto. I'm not gonna lie, seriously, you'll see an owl sculpture or something like. Sometimes there's a deeper meaning to the owl being there that you don't even realize. So there is a little bit of an ominous weirdness about owls. I won't deny that, Seymour. But the only reason why it can turn its head like that is to be able to see that the mice it wants to eat. And in some ways, having that able to turn, it's very useful. And I know maybe you're just jelly. You don't have the neck vertebrae to do the full turnaround yourself. I don't know. I get it, man. I get it. There's a little bit creepiness with owls. I want to see owls in my yard. I've never seen an owl in my yard yet. That's an animal that's on my bingo card to see out here in my yard that I have not seen yet. I guess they just hide really well. I know they're around. I'm positive there's probably owls around my neighborhood out here in the woods, but I've never seen one out here yet. I want to see one though. And one day I will see one and I'll tell you, Seymour. One day I'll see an owl and I'll tell you. That's so weird, man. Seymour said my finals prediction: Scarborough versus Calgary. Now this would be amazing. This would be absolutely amazing if Scarborough and Calgary play in the finals of the CBL, because that would mean the two play-in teams made it all the way, and that means they won 4 games to get to that spot. I mean, they won 3 games to get that spot, and then the 4th game is the championship to win it. Yeah, I don't know how likely this is. I mean, I know some of these other teams that they're coming up against are pretty tough, like Vancouver in particular. Calgary's going to play Vancouver tomorrow, and Vancouver has lost very few games this season. The Vancouver Bandits, which feature trick shot artist Tristan Jazz, have won a lot of games this year. A lot of games, not lost a whole lot. So they're the best record in the league, and that is who Calgary's going to have to play next. And they'll play them in Vancouver and Langley, I believe. So, it's going to be tough. There's a tough climb to get there, because then after they play Vancouver, they got to go to Winnipeg and beat Winnipeg at the Winnipeg Festival, and then they'll get a shot at the eastern side in the finals. So that's the path. The teams ahead of them are already outlaid. Like if Scarborough is going to get in the finals, they got to beat Ottawa tomorrow, and then they got to beat Niagara after that, and then they get to the finals. So it's really weird. There's only one game, one and done, and it's like a go up the ladder kind of thing. And Scarborough and Calgary are the play-in teams. They're trying to get up there. That's like Miami getting the finals in the NBA a couple years ago. It's tough to do that. It's very tough to do that, because in some ways you had the home court advantage now, but you're not going to have it in the next round or the rest of the playoffs. Cool Cat saying, good morning, Raptor Freak Crew. Good morning to the coach, Cool Cat. Yeah, man. Why do Raptors have to play all those top tier teams right away? Second year in a row, they've done that. Now, all right, they put the schedule out yesterday. I have looked at it. I've written it on my calendar and I've gone over it a little bit, but I'm not ready to espouse on it too much because I want to save it for content on Sunday. So on Sunday report, I'm going to talk about the schedule more, but I'm going to say this. My impression of the schedule, I'll give you guys a first impression, is it's great. It's a fantastic schedule this year. The schedule is not that bad, Cool Cat. This is not like last year. We have games early in the season against Brooklyn and Charlotte and Washington, and this is totally different than last year. This season's going to be way better. Trust me. I've seen the schedule looks really good to me, guys. Actually, this may be the best schedule the Raptors have gotten in 5 or 6 years. I'm not going to lie. So I completely disagree. They had not done it to us. This is actually a really reasonable, awesome schedule. And I'm going to go over it with a fine-tooth comb on Sunday. We'll go through the whole thing. And I'll go over all the long road trips. I'll go over all the back-to-backs. I'll go over all the suspicious shit. There is a little bit of suspicious stuff in the schedule. But for the most part, this schedule is awesome. And I feel like we can really kick some ass through the schedule and that the Raptors are going to get in the playoffs, and the schedule is not going to be a hindrance for us. First of all, there's adequate rest days between a lot of games, and all the back-to-backs look very, very, very doable. None of them seem unreasonable. There's some very, very – I mean, we have 15 back-to-backs, but the back-to-backs are not that unreasonable. They're actually really good back-to-backs. Like going from Houston to New Orleans on a back-to-back on the road is easy. I've driven from Houston to New Orleans. It's nothing. It's nothing. You can drive from Houston to New Orleans. Like it's nothing. And if they play one night against Fred and the Rockets and Kevin Durant, and they got to get on I-10 and drive to New Orleans, that's a nothing trip. That's like going from Toronto to Ottawa. And, that's a really good back-to-back. There's a lot of back-to-backs like that. The back-to-backs are very reasonable on the schedule. And I right off the bat, I think this is one of the best schedules the Raptors have had in recent history. So I don't see what you see. I don't. We've got Brooklyn and Charlotte and Washington all in the first couple of weeks of the season. And we want that mix of tough opponents and shitty opponents. And also the thing is, you're looking at some of those teams like they are from last year. No. Don't look at Milwaukee like they're tough. Don't look at Milwaukee like they're tough. There's a couple of these teams you got to readjust. Your parameters are how you look at them because they are not going to be better this year. And it's going to be very interesting. That's right. Fiercely saying, good morning, fam. Happy Friday. Happy Friday to you, MJ. MJ, of course, going to CBL, Ottawa Blackjacks last week. Well, there's a game tomorrow, Fiercely. Would you be going to the Ottawa Blackjacks Scarborough Shooting Stars playoff game tomorrow? Yeah, that's right. Seymour saying it's the fast food, Lex, in Scarborough. Everybody's 6 foot or taller. Wendy's, McDonald's, Little Caesars type shit. I mean, I don't know what it is, but man, Scarborough's got some tall people. And it doesn't help that Jamal McGlure and Joel Anthony are there too, walking around, former NBA players that are almost 7 feet tall or 7 feet tall. It's just like that. I'm trying to think. Were there other people there that I kind of knew that were kind of semi-celebrities? I'm trying to think. Not really. It was kind of low key for that. I mean, there's some people that are kind of like, I look at them like, man, that guy's probably really famous for something, but I don't know what. It's that kind of stuff. But yeah, it was a fun game. And like I said, we sat in the third row, center court, for $35 and got a free shirt. And I'm like, wow, the value is amazing. And my parking was free again. I wasn't sure if I was have to pay after the game, but they were like, wave me through after the game. And it's like, no, you don't have to pay no parking either. What's not to like? There you go. What's not to like? That's right. Kaz is saying at Seymour, another fun owl fact. Owls have specialized feathers that allow them to fly almost silently. So the opposite of a mourning dove. I feel like the mourning dove has been screwed over in nature's ways. Like every time they fly, I have them in my yard. There's like a pair of mourning doves that have been in my yard consistently this summer, and they're fun. They're fun. I love them. They're such beautiful cooing little birds, but they're the opposite. Every time they fly, it's not their mouth making the noise. It's the wings have this weird thing on it that makes the noise no matter what. So they're going to be noisy no matter when they fly. That seems like that's not very good for like, hey, I'm here. I'm predators. Come eat me. No, you'd want to be silent like the owl, right? But yeah, mourning doves are loud. Owls are quiet. There you go. Maybe that's why I've seen the mourning doves, but I haven't seen the owls yet. Maybe that's why right there. It's Seymour saying, damn. It's like, nah, man, these owls. No. I don't. No, don't tell me. Listen, owls are good, man. They eat a lot of mice. And that's why, in some ways, once again, I'm going to make a public service announcement. Stop using pesticides. Stop using rat poison because it goes through the food chain and it kills other things. Pesticides go into the water supply and they go to other places and they're just bad for the world. Stop using them. There's a natural pesticide. It's called other insects that will eat the ones that you hate. You get just a monoculture lawn, and the thing that thrives in that lawn is a mosquito. The mosquito thrives in that lawn because there's nothing there to eat it. And if you had a regular lawn with regular animals of all biodiversity, your mosquito problem would go away. Just like here. It's like my yard hasn't been mowed in 2 months. Do I have mosquitoes out the ass with all the rain and all the growth? No, because I have everything else that will eat the mosquitoes. And none of them mosquitoes come around me. I have beautiful dragonflies. I have all kinds of grasshoppers and bees and wasps and all that shit eats. A lot of that shit eats. the pest, the mosquito. That's the key. Everybody's like, these damn bugs. Well, if you didn't have such a boring, lame ass yard, you'd have other things in there to take care of the problem, because nature balances things on its own. So it's like no pesticides in the yard because you kill everything. If you're killing roaches and mosquitoes with whatever you're killing all insects. It doesn't discern whether this is a beneficial insect or a bad insect. The exterminator says, "Oh, I'm using all natural pesticide. It's not. This is all organic. Don't worry about it." Okay, it's going to kill everything. Yeah, that you want killed, and it's going to kill everything else too. It's going to kill the butterflies too, and that's what I'm saying. There's ways to do this shit naturally, and not have all the unnecessary death with pesticides and rat poison. That's right. Let the owls take care of the rats, is what I'm saying. Let the dragonflies take care of the mosquitoes. That's what I'm saying right there. That's right. That's right. Isaac's saying this. This one time I met 7'9" North Korean Ri Myung Hong in Almonte, Ontario. He was sitting stretched across an entire picnic table. With that height, he had to be off of the table too. If he was laying across that table, his legs are touching the ground and maybe his head's at the other end or something like that. Did he have his knees bent and his legs were like going straight down and touching the ground? He's laying right across the table. That's crazy. North Korean? What? North Korea? What was a North Korean doing over here? I thought they weren't allowed to leave their country. That's weird, Isaac. That's a weird comment. Fiercely saying Javonte Smart was a high scorer. Too bad he's gone. That may be really tough. I mean, this may be similar to when Raptors 905 is in the playoff run and the Raptors snake their players, or another team gets one of their players and takes them away from us. Like what happened with Reggie Perry a couple of years ago. Reggie Perry on Raptors 905, one of our key players, and all of a sudden the Portland Trailblazers signed him to a regular contract on the NBA level, and he was out right when we were about to start the playoffs, and it wasn't helpful. Nah, it really hurt us. Yeah, this is not good for Ottawa Blackjacks. Now, if Terquavian Smith all of a sudden stopped playing for the Scarborough Shooting Stars in the next 2 days before Saturday, that'd be kind of a similar thing. Yeah, it's just how it is. I mean, the CBL in the priority list of everything, it's kind of a filler. It's a filler league for professional players to play somewhere and earn money. I mean, it's a great thing. I'm sure North American kids that don't want to go overseas but want to play basketball in the summer absolutely love the CBL. And that's why we've got so many Canadians in it, of course, but also Americans are coming up and playing in it too. And they probably really enjoy the level of professionalism and the fact that they can make professional basketball money in the summer. So, but when they get the big contracts to go to overseas for a European club, or they're getting called up to an NBA team for training camp or something like that, there's some tough decisions to make. And usually the CBL is going to lose out. That's just how it is. Their contracts are like that, so that they're freedom inducing, so that people can jet out or take off if there are other opportunities that come towards them all of a sudden. And that's just the best way to get the best talent. But in some ways, it's not always dependable because it might take off like Smart. Yeah. Smooth saying, I was at the Blue Jays game yesterday. The stadium was electric. That team is on a fire. And in some ways, Blue Jays Nation should be reveling and enjoying and savoring this season. Because honestly, we know how it is in Toronto with sports. And, well, enjoy the vibes, Blue Jays Nation. Enjoy the stadium. Enjoy what Reggie saw yesterday at the game. I love that. I love hearing that. I have so much affinity for Blue Jays Nation and the Toronto Blue Jays. I love you guys, 2-time World Series champions. I'd love to see the third one come in the next few years. I would really love to see that. Yeah, Smooth saying, have to admit, the Dome renos are very impressive. Yeah, it's got a fresh look. There's a freshness to it. I mean, that building is so old at this point. It's like it's over 30 years old. It's like 35 years old or something like that at this point. So it's one of the older buildings in the league, but in some ways it doesn't have to look like it. And the technology was so forward thinking, Robbie's Sky Dome design, that it still looks futuristic, and it's not like anything else in the league still to this day. Like, seriously, is there anybody in the MLB that has a dome that opens up and closes like the Sky Dome still to this day? I don't think so. And that's still very impressive. And with the skyline, with the tower next to it. And there's a lot of cool stuff they've done as far as making new food areas and kind of renovating some of the sight lines and things like that. They've done a good job. I agree with you, Reggie. Yeah. Let's see. Seymour's saying this. I missed that place, but it must be even more hype now. The Dome. It depends. It depends. You know, if the Blue Jays are winning, yeah, it's hype. If it's a Taylor Swift concert, yeah, it's hype. It's hype. It depends. It depends on what's going on in there. But yeah, that place is awesome. I have a lot of good memories in the Sky Dome. Sky Dome. I'll call it Sky Dome every day. Fuck you, Ed Rogers III. Fuck you, Keith Belly. Yeah, there. I got those in. We're not even talking Raptors, and I still got those in. There you go. Kaz is saying, "Hey y'all, is baseball as boring to watch on TV as it is in person at the stadium?" Wow, that's a crack on baseball. I'll allow it. I'll allow it. But I mean, listen, they've done some things in recent years with baseball to try and hurry it up. They've got on the pitchers about hanging around on the mound, scratching and itching too much. No, you got to get right into your pitches. And they've cut down the time of baseball games. So they've been a little proactive about this kind of stuff. You know, there's always kind of different things that they can try and do, gimmicks they can try and do to get it a little bit more interesting. I think that you're right. Baseball can be a little bit kind of, what's going on here? Why is this this? And in some ways, I mean, baseball athletes have to be really like go in a moment, but kind of stand around and wait the rest of the time. And in some ways, that's difficult. But also at the same time, you could say this is not a physical exertion sport where you're going all out constantly all over the place, like maybe basketball or hockey. So it's a tough thing. Kaz, I don't want to diss MLB, but I get what you're saying here. I get what you're saying. I mean, the last baseball game I went to at the Dome was a couple of seasons ago, and we were sitting in the brand new section that they just built that Reggie was talking about. It's like in the 200 section, and it's really kind of, man, everybody around us was so shit-faced. They were drinking so much, and they were so tanked. I was uncomfortable, and I don't want to be there anymore. So I left. We left. It was a Red Sox game, and we were losing when I left, but they started winning when I left. So it's like, once again, when Lex is around the Blue Jays, they lose. But as soon as I leave, they start winning again. So I'm like, man, and that's kind of what I told myself the last time I went. It's like, dude, they're winning now that you left. Man, if that isn't a sign. But Adriana was really kind and was like, yeah, we'll go. I understand you're not feeling comfortable around these, like, people that were just downing pitchers of beer all around me. And just really, they smelled like shit, and they were obnoxiously loud. And I was like, fuck these drunks. I'm out of here. I'm out of here, these drunk ass motherfuckers. That's right. Seymour saying, I remember when Jordan and the Bulls played in the Dome. I was watching from the 500 level. Bring out the binoculars. Were you at that game? That famous game? That amazing game where David Stoudemire and them beat the Chicago Bulls champions? Woo! That's a classic, historic Toronto sports moment. That's for sure. You were up in the 500 level? Yeah. I've sat up in the 500 level for a Raptors game before, and it was tough. It was tough to see it. I went with my grandmother. It was crazy. Yeah, she fell asleep during the game. It was really weird. It was like we were up in the 500 level. The team looked like ants, and it was really hard to see. And I look over, and there's my grandmother sleeping, sitting next to me. Of course, she slept when we went to the Simpsons movie, too, in the movie theater. Yeah, I think she also slept at an Iron Maiden concert once, too, with my cousin. So, yeah, this was normal for her. Yeah, this was normal for her. But, yeah, I've also gone to Sky Dome and watched the WWF Monday Night Raw from the 500 level. And it's a little bit weird to be all the way up there for an event like that that's live TV and there's a lot going on. And they don't really have good Jumbotron. I mean, they do have the big Jumbotron on the side. But in some ways, that doesn't really work well for wrestling on the wall there. You know, let's see. Fiercely saying, I have a baby shower in Montreal at 4 p.m., so I won't be at the game. However, if I get to my mom's house early enough, I can comfortably stream the game and join you on Discord. There you go. That sounds good. Well, let's see if that can happen. And I'll look forward to it if it can. May the best team win, eye candy. There you go. Ottawa, Scarborough. Yeah, it's a little bit of Seymour and Fiercey on other sides. That's right. He's all about the Scarborough Shooting Stars. I'm sorry, I am too. Although Adriana was getting on to me last night because I was rooting for Quincy. Yeah, I wasn't totally rooting for Scarborough completely last night. I was rooting for Quincy Guerrier also because I was like, man, I like Quincy. Quincy's he was a Raptors 905. He's a Team Canada guy. He was on our summer league team this summer, just not even a month or so ago. So it's like, I like Quincy, and Quincy didn't disappoint last night. He really did come out gangbusters. Let me go look at the box score real quick. Quincy Guerrier, 30 points, 11 rebounds, 2 assists in 30 minutes of play for Montreal Alliance yesterday at the game I was at. Yeah, he was just fantastic. He also had 2 steals. Yeah, he was just awesome. He was a +6. On the other side, like I said, it was Terquavion Smith. He shot 7 of 14 from 3 and had 27 points. And he was just electric. He was shooting really ballsy too. He was doing this kind of shit where he come down the break and he's the only one coming down the break and he pull up for 3 instead of taking it to the basket. He was doing that kind of shit. But he was on it. And then of course Donovan Williams, 26 points on 10 of 26 shooting. He was 4 of 10 from 3, which was underrated. 5 rebounds, 6 assists, and 2 steals for him also. He was a real force out there. So it was a kind of a double punch from the Scarborough Shooting Stars that really helped them win. Meanwhile, Quincy was really the only one carrying for Alliance. So it's kind of like that. Yeah, Fiercely saying, go Blackjacks. There you go. There you go. Yeah, yeah. Let's see. Kaz said, you spelled hockey incorrectly. Oh, you want to diss that too? I mean, hockey is fast-paced, but the whole knock on hockey is there's just not enough scoring. And it's just like, okay, if I want to see people skate around in circles, I go to City Hall around Christmas. If I want to see people skate around on ice in circles, oh, man, that's so anti-Canadian what you're doing, Lex. Why you say stuff like that? Why you say stuff like that? I don't know. I'm a basketball guy. I grew up in Florida. I'm a tall man. I like basketball. I'm sorry. It's just how it is. Yeah, it's basically saying it's so funny to hear Lex slip in an FU Ed Rogers here and there. It's kind of mandatory. Like in some ways, there should be a bingo card for my stream. Classic card, okay. Instagram stories, okay. Daily FU to Pelly and Rogers, sure. We got to put that in there. It's just quota. It's just quota. That's right. Go Ottawa Blackjacks. Let's go. Kaz is saying, respect the sport of baseball, and it's just not for me. Yeah, I would say, I like baseball and I can watch it. I remember when I was a kid, I really enjoyed watching the World Series with like the Oakland A's and San Francisco and that era, Ricky Henderson and Cal Ripken. And that kind of era was fun to watch baseball to me for some reason. But I guess over time, I've just gotten kind of not into it anymore. I feel like the Blue Jays languishing to not get up to the top since the 90s has hurt my interest. And I got really into it the last time when Josh Donaldson was on the team and we were making those playoff runs around about 10 years ago. That was the last time I really got into Blue Jays. It was the last time around then. But yeah, I'm with you. And I'm not really into soccer either. I think soccer is really boring. I think soccer may be the most boring sport to me out of all of them. I think soccer is the most boring with, maybe hockey second and then baseball. And then, yeah, but football is not boring to me. I think football is pretty interesting. And then, of course, basketball is the most interesting. Of course. There you go. There you go. Dunk for Fiercey. All right, we can do that. Let's give a Fiercey dunk to MJ. Let's see. Where's my sheet? She's just reached the century barrier. She's a 101. 101 dunks for Fiercey in the year of 2025. That's right. Kaz is saying this. Damn, Isaac. You find hockey boring? I do. I mean, I feel like any sport that needs fighting to spice it up is kind of sad. Let's just put it that way. Any sport that just needs fighting is kind of sad. I think that hockey is a very hard sport to play in some ways. I think it's pretty interesting. I've always wondered if I'd be good at it, being so tall and light on my feet and Scandinavian and Manitobian. These are the right kind of places to come into a hockey career, being my height and my quickness. Yeah, I could have probably been a pretty good defenseman, not gonna lie, but I'll never know. And in some ways, it's like, look, it really is the scoring stuff. It's like what they said with the J guys from the Raptors, the J crew, with Jonathan and them. They're getting on Jonathan about not getting to the Leafs playoff game until the third period. And he's like, well, what was the score then? Exactly. Jack shit had happened in the first 2 periods of that Leaf playoff game, and he didn't miss anything, and he showed up almost at the end in the last period. So it's like that kind of stuff. I mean, seriously, I don't mind. You guys want to watch people skate around in circles? If that's your thing, you go ahead. If you enjoy that, that's fine. And some people say the opposite about basketball. They're like, I can't stand basketball because there's too much scoring. It's too much to take in. It's too much for me to comprehend. I'm like, wait, what? That's why you don't like basketball? Yeah, there's too many baskets. It's just too much. It's too overwhelming. Like, what the fuck is that, man? What the fuck is that, man? Seriously. All right, we're like ranking our sports here today. It's very interesting. Yeah, yeah. All right, let's keep going with it, man. Let's keep going with it here. Yeah, let's see. Kaloy saying, coming from a basketball only background at first, I found baseball boring, but then I saw a bunch of baseball anime and it got me hooked to actual baseball. Haha. There you go. I like the play. The guy who's from Toronto that plays for the Oakland A's or the A's, I guess. It's not the Oakland A's anymore. I don't even know where they play. It's like they're in a weird like purgatory of like in between this. It's like, where did athletics go? Since they're not in Oakland anymore, they're in Las Vegas or something. They won't even give them a name. But the kid who's from Toronto, the Canadian kid who plays for them, he's had some amazing outfield catches this season. I've seen those highlights on TSN with this guy who jumps up over the wall and steals home runs. I'm like, wow, that kind of stuff is cool. I mean, there are things about baseball that I really, really like. I mean, I think that baseball can be very exciting in the moment, but there is a lot of just standing around, scratching your crotch and spitting in baseball also. And in some ways, it's like, okay, if I don't mind waiting around for the action here and there, but I feel like the action comes here and there too. And there is a lot of intrigue in watching pitchers and how their techniques. And there's a lot of intrigue in like the idea of baseball and how it works. I mean, in some ways, I feel baseball is so much more interesting than hockey. In some ways, yeah, so much more interesting. Kaz is saying, "Let's go Blackjacks." That's right. This is fun. We're all Raptors freaks. We love our Toronto Raptors, but there are lines that divide the Raptor freak family in the CBL. Yeah, there are. There sure are. I don't know. We'd have to figure out who's in which camp. I am Scarborough right now, for sure. It's my home base team now. It's close enough to my house that I can drive there in an hour and be at a Scarborough Shooting Stars game. And that, I'm gonna go with them. Although I might have affinity for Winnipeg also, because I have affinity for Winnipeg teams. And you know what? I kind of like Montreal Alliance too. That's why it was tough for me to totally root against them last night. Some ways I kind of like the Montreal Alliance, Chris Boucher, Quincy Guerrier. So it's tough. It's tough. I don't have a fully formed, yes, Scarborough is my CBL team, but it's kind of like that. It's kind of like that. Some of y'all are like, Ottawa for sure is my team. Oh, yeah. Ottawa's definitely my team. Maybe some of y'all in Calgary are like, yeah, no, the Surge are my team. Calgary Surge, baby. Calgary Surge. Some of the BC people are like, nah, Vancouver, guys. Vancouver's the best team in the league. We're going to be the best this year. We're going to win. You know, it'll be interesting to see how the lines are drawn in the Raptor Freak family for CBL allegiances. That's right. Chloe saying, what I can't watch is golf. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's one of those ones that like you shouldn't be watching on TV. If you're going to do golf, you just do it yourself. That's right. Unless it's like Kyle Lowry and a bunch of Raptors golfing, I'll watch that. That'd be fun to watch the GOAT golf and do his little golf. But otherwise, I'm not interested. Kyle Lowry and Bill Murray are golfing. That's fun. I'll watch that. Bill Murray and Kyle Lowry on a golf course. That's kind of fun. Yeah, golf is the most boring. Yeah. You're probably right. If I'm going to put him in there, golf is probably more boring than soccer. I feel like soccer is really boring. Like soccer to me is so boring. It's more boring than hockey to me, the soccer. Yeah, I know the soccer is the most popular sport in the entire world, but to me, I'm lost on it. I'm sorry. To me, it just looks tiring. They make these men run around for 90 minutes in this game, and then some of it's just like running around just to run around. It's like it's not leading to anything important. I mean, how deflating is that? You run your ass all the way down that whole entire soccer field, and then all of a sudden the defender guy just kicks it back the other way. And you're like, oh, fuck. You got to run back the other way and go the other way. And it's just like going back and forth. And sometimes you don't even get close to the goals. And sometimes there's like not scoring for a while. And I'm just like, yeah, what are we doing? If I want to watch people run around on a field, I'll go watch kids around the corner at the park, playing whatever game they're playing. I don't know. That's just how I feel about soccer. I mean, that may not be a very popular opinion in some ways. Let's see. Smooth is saying, I was always more Expos than Blue Jays because when I was spending a lot of time in Houston, I'd go to the Astrodome to watch the Expos. It was a National League thing. You didn't get to see the Blue Jays because the American League and the National League were split up, and he was in a National League city with the Astros, and that's why the Expos came through. That's cool. I love the Expos too. I love both the Canadian MLB teams. I wish they bring back the Montreal Expos. I think there's a lot of coolness to them. They had a very interesting history with a lot of really cool players that played for Montreal Expos in the past, including Vlad's dad, Vlad Sr., and people like Gary Carter and Andre Dawson and Marquise Grissom. Yeah, I know the history of the Expos a bit here. That's right. That's right. I know the history. FAMU's Marquise Grissom. That's right. FAMU's Marquise Grissom. That's right. Seymour saying NASCAR boring as fuck. Yeah. Let's talk about boring sports today on a Friday Freakout. We're freaking about how sports can be so boring. I'm going to tell you right now that CEBL game last night had no boringness to it. It was all out, and the players were trying so hard. And the energy in the building was like really frenetic and crazy. And they were getting up and down the court. And there were some really nice dunks. There was some amazing 3-point shots. There was some wows. And so, ooh, and all that kind of stuff. That's what you want. You want the crowd to be, are you not entertained? Yes, we're entertained. We're getting good value for $35. Getting very good value. It's very, very good value. Yeah. Yeah. And they even had a giveaway in the middle of the game in the halftime. And the lady who was sitting next to us won a $500 TV just out of the blue. And they was like, they just named names off. It's like, come up here. You won a basketball. You won this. And the lady was sitting there by herself, and her son and her friend left to go get more drinks or something. And she was like, oh my gosh, I won a TV. And she ran up there and got the TV. I'm like, holy crap. CEBL is so good to its fans. They just gave this lady sitting next to us a $500 TV just out of the blue. It's like, you've won a TV. Holy shit. This is amazing. That's crazy. It's so awesome. That's right. Stargate saying, then test match cricket. Cricket? You don't like match cricket? Cricket? I've never even watched cricket. It's not even on my radar. I've never, ever, I don't know anything about cricket. I know there's a bowler and a batter, something like that, and they're trying to get it past people. I have no idea what cricket's rules are. And maybe I'm ignorant for it. Maybe I'm showing this something. It's just something I've never, ever sat down and watched or tried to understand, which in some ways maybe I should, but I don't know. I've seen people playing cricket in the parks here in Toronto in certain places. So we're saying, and being born in Montreal, of course you'll be an Expos fan. Of course, that's right. 2020 cricket is okay. 2020 cricket's okay. Okay, 2020 cricket, but not match cricket, test match cricket. Okay. I don't know the distinction. Smooth saying, but when the Blue Jays won back-to-back in 92, 93, unforgettable moments, man. Those amazing moments. And as I said, I was living in Florida at the time in Atlanta Braves territory. Yeah, I lived where the Braves fans were. And boy, they didn't like the Blue Jays that one year. No, they didn't. Yeah, that was an awesome time. Joe Carter. We love you, Joe. Joe Carter is amazing, man. Seymour saying, American Gladiators was my favorite. All right. Is this a sanctioned professional sport, or is this a sports entertainment? I don't know. In some ways, it was hard to gauge whether American Gladiators was fixed. Probably was to a degree for producers prepping up the game to be better. But I thought that was pretty cool. Like the obstacle courses where you're trying to get around and throw the grenade at them, and they have a big gun and they're shooting like stuff at you, and you're hiding behind these different like things and stuff like that. That's a pretty cool show. Yeah, I missed that show. Maybe they should reboot it and put it back on TV. Of course, that show's kind of like Most Extreme Challenge, or like these crazy ninja shows where they have the people climb all these things and these crazy obstacle courses. Yeah, those kind of shows are kind of fun. But these are reality shows and game shows. They're not really sports. Come on, Seymour. Isaac saying, nice, Smooth. I went to New York to see the Mets play the Expos in their last game series. Never will I go to America again. Yeah, we were talking about that the other day. Isaac and I were both agreeing. Yeah, I'm not going back to the United States anytime soon, which is sad because my family lives there. But you know what? We'll see over time. Hopefully, Gavin Newsom is really kicking some ass in the last couple of days. I really applaud you, Governor of California. You're being a true leader and fighting for democracy right now. And I like to see that side of things, the side that I'm on, finally standing up and fighting fire with fire. And honestly, man, your tweets are hilarious. If y'all have not seen what Gavin Newsom's been doing in the last couple of days, y'all need to go check it out. He is absolutely trolling the shit out of Trump right now. And it's amazing. It's amazing. I'm so here for it. You've got to see what he's saying to him. It's like the one last night was so good. It's like he said he needs baby steps to get up into the plane. He's using Trump shit against him. He's basically tweeting like Trump, except from his point of view. And he's saying, I've ruined Trump. I'm the king now. And he's saying all this crazy shit about him having tiny hands. And all it's so hilarious. Y'all need to go see what Gavin Newsom's doing, the governor of California right now. He's absolutely fighting fire with fire. I'm so here for it. I'm so here for it. He could be the next president down the road. Seriously. If he keeps doing this kind of shit, he's going to get a lot of popularity. And people are going to be like, this dude's badass. Look what he's doing to Trump right now. It's really good. Y'all need to check this out. If you're not aware of what Gavin Newsom's doing right now, go look. Go look. It's really good. It's so good, honestly. Let's see. Fiercely saying this. I played mini putt. Okay, we're going over all sports now. All sports, and it's super cool. But golfing, I did once and was hella boring. I think it is good for coordination, focusing, and aiming, hence why many basketball players like it. Well, basketball players like to be competitive in their lives. And, when you get older, your body doesn't compete as well in high energy, stressful sports like basketball. So you got to go take a easier sport like golf. And they just want to get that competitive outlet. And I think that's a lot of it. It's good. It's good exercise too. But I get what you're saying. I've been a mini putt guy myself. I love miniature golf. And I love going to weird, crazy courses with dinosaurs and windmills and shit like that. And I love playing that. I've never been able to golf that well because of my arm injury. In fact, this is the anniversary today, guys. 31 years ago today, I almost died. I was in a car wreck, very serious car wreck in 1994, where I split my face in half and I almost died. I shattered my elbow. And that you can still see the scars on my elbow from where I lost most of the bone here. And this is all metal in here. I have a metal arm and I can truck somebody with a Lex Luger, a bionic elbow. But yeah, I can't straighten my arm. So in some ways, when I try and hit a golf club, I can't get full swing because I can't straighten my arm. It's the same reason why I can't really play baseball either. It's like I can't really swing a bat with full power because my arm won't straighten out. So, I never really got into regular golf because I can't hit a full golf ball with my arm being messed up from a wreck I had when I was 18 years old. So yeah, 31 years ago, I had a wreck on this date. It was at 4 a.m. on the August the 15th, 1994. And I'm just grateful and glad to still be alive. I've now lived almost lived 2/3 of my life past that wreck. I would have died in 94 before the Raptors even existed, y'all. The Raptor freak would have never even seen the Raptors if I died that night. So there was a special angel out there looking out for me and wanting me to stay on earth. I felt all the cliche shit, man. I sat in the car bleeding to death. I felt the life running out of my body. I felt all the blood running out of me. And I did my last rites to myself at the age of 18 in 1994. And I saw the light. That cliche shit. They say, when you're dying, you see light. You hear, you see your life flash before you. You see a lot of memories go by. And I felt a very strong presence of my grandfather who had passed away about 10 years before that, telling me, no, it's not your time. And he pushed me back into being alive again. And a police officer saved my life, took me to the hospital. I had 6 surgeries and I had to learn how to walk again. I had to do all kinds of crazy shit, but I came back and I'm still here today, 31 years later. It's really lucky. So I feel blessed. And today I want to take account and publicly say thank you to Sergeant Eric Childs of the Tallahassee Police Department for saving my life on this day 31 years ago. Yeah. Yeah, it's a tough thing, man. When the police are here to serve and protect, they can do amazing, beautiful things like save people's lives like they did for me. This is a double-edged sword. I don't say all police are bad. It's just that some of them have lost focus on what the job is supposed to be. That's all. That's all right there. Yeah, let's keep going. Let's see. It's crazy. I just realized this is the anniversary today. August 15th is the anniversary. 31 years. It's crazy. I was 18 when it happened. It's crazy, man. Let's see. Smooth saying, as much as I love those 92, 93 teams, I really want this generation of Blue Jays fans to experience what I did. There's nothing like it. Yeah, it'd be awesome. Of course, what was synonymous with the 92, 93 teams was the checkbook was opened. Oh, yeah. I mean, the Blue Jays were spending like they'd never spent before to bring in such huge top names like Ricky Henderson, Dave Winfield, Jack Morris, Paul Molitor. They were spending, and they were going for it. They were going for it, and they did a good job of going for it. It worked out. It really did. Let's see. Kaz saying, me, Isaac, and MJ, Team Blackjack. There you go. There you go. Kaz, Isaac, and MJ are Ottawa Blackjack, Team Ottawa Blackjack. There you go. I like that. Although Fiercey's probably is Ottawa, but I would wonder who's on Montreal. Who's on Montreal there, too? Kaloy saying, with the Blue Jays situation now, it makes me a bit optimistic about all the doom and gloom with being a Rogers own team. Well, this is the thing, guys. We can't just think that we're going into bad things all the time. You want to think the best and give the chance for the best things to happen. Sure, it's ominous, and Masai getting dismissed is horrible. Fuck you, Ed. Fuck you, Keith. And it was a really bad move. We knew it was going to happen. In some ways, that makes things uncertain. It's a really bad move, but in some ways, it is still business. He wants to make money, and winning will make him money. So maybe the ultimate goals, some of his goals and what he wants, Ed Rogers III, are the things that the fans want also in some ways. So hopefully that's what happens. So let's allow for success and aligning of being on the same page with King Rogers III. And hopefully, things can come out, and things like World Series or Larry O'Brien comes towards Toronto once again very soon. That's what I'm saying right there. Stargate saying, I used to watch the Braves on TBS. Yeah, that's an institution right there back in the Caribbean. Dale Murphy and the crew. Yeah, Bobby Cox, of course, was a manager of the Blue Jays for a long time early on. And then he went and managed the Atlanta Braves for a long, long time also. And yeah, I grew up on Braves baseball also because TBS was on the TV where I lived, and it was very much on all the time. You could see greats like Tom Glavine, Andrew, what's his name? Andrew Jones from back in the day, David Justice. What about old Crime Dog went down there and played for them after us? Fred McGriff, Otis Nixon. You could talk about John Smoltz. Yeah. There's a lot of interesting Atlanta Braves around that time. Of course, they were winning a lot too at that time also. So yeah, Braves were definitely on my TV also. It was Saturday night. Maybe you're watching NWA Wrestling with Ric Flair at 6 p.m. till 8, and then the Braves come on at 8 o'clock. Something like that. Yeah, TBS. That's right. Let's go. Dale Murphy. That's right. That's a Hall of Famer kind of Brave there. That's old school right there. Cool Cat saying, I'm a Scarborough Shooting Stars. Locality matters. I appreciate all the other teams too. I like the attendance on the West Coast teams. That's fantastic that Winnipeg got to almost 100,000 people in attendance for the season. It's amazing. They might still get to it if they can get the attendance up for their last game on this festival game. Their arena, it holds a lot of people. And I just love to see the growth for Winnipeg Sea Bears and Jalen Harris this season. There's been a lot of good interest, and Winnipeg's becoming more of a basketball town, is what I can tell in the last year. Winnipeg is becoming more interested in basketball, and that's fantastic. I love that so much, man. I love that so much. Cool Cat saying, I understand golf, so I've watched it a few times. It's nerve-wracking if you are supporting a player. Yeah. I mean, it's just always, to me, it's always kind of been a gatekeeping sport. I've heard recently that Augusta National is going to make it even harder for the masses to come in and watch the Masters. That they're actually going to make it even more harder. They used to have a huge gallery with a whole bunch of people in there, and anybody could come get tickets, but they're getting a little bit more gatekeepy and a little bit more like, you're not good enough to come in here. It's always been that country club kind of atmosphere of kind of exclusion and bullshit like that. In some ways, that is why I don't like golf. It's because it's a sport for rich people to look down on poor people and say, you don't play golf, or it's an elitist sport. Let's just put it that way. And in some ways, I don't like the fact that there's a lot of real estate out there that's used for golf courses. In some ways, I feel like some of these ways we could reclaim that land and maybe build more housing on some of these golf courses. That'd be great. And keep all the trees and just build houses on the fairways. And let's make some cheap, affordable housing to house the homeless and house people instead of having a rich man's playground to just hit a little ball around, shit like that. I have some interesting views on it. Tennis is an elitist sport also, but in some ways I have more respect for tennis because in some ways it's still a sport that's accessible to most people. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Scoo's saying this. I still remember going to the Dome to watch Dave Winfield, Roberto Alomar, and Devon White and others. How excited I was. Now seeing how happy the fans are for the team, especially the kids, I get emotional. There you go. Yeah, baseball games are fun. And as a kid, they can be very special. Special moments shared with parents and enjoying experiences. Yeah, I can remember going. My first Blue Jays game was at Exhibition Stadium, and it was like the days of George Bell, Dave Steve, Ernie Witt, Tony Fernandez, Kelly Gruber, and we were playing the Oakland A's, and it'd be like Mark McGuire, Jose Canseco, Dave Stewart, and Ricky Henderson, Carney Lansford. Yeah, that was that was special. I can remember going to Exhibition Stadium and watching the Blue Jays play there before Skydome. And those very early memories of baseball games as a little kid were special, very, very special. Kaloy saying, I am really foreign to hockey. Watch the last playoffs. It made me see no matter how good you are against a good goalie, it doesn't matter. At least with soccer, the goal is really big. Yeah, is that why the Panthers won? Is it just because of their goalie? I don't know. I didn't watch any hockey. In some ways, I was like paying attention to the Leafs while they were still in there a little bit just to see what they're doing. But Florida, in some ways, is just such a juggernaut. They're just doing what they do. They've repeated now. Yeah, I don't know. In some ways, hockey to me is interesting because of the kinetics and the speed on the skates. But also, once again, it can get that feeling like soccer where it's just kind of skating back and forth and nothing's happening. That's that kind of shit, you know? Cool Cat saying this. Football, penalty kicks, and basketball crunch free throws are heart-wrenching. My two favorite sports, football first and basketball. When she's saying penalty kicks, she means the soccer and not American football. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that is a really nerve-wracking thing, the penalty kick from the side and trying to get around the wall of players for sure. Yeah, free throws, yeah. Yeah, I see what you're saying here. So we're saying I would be in Toronto and Houston going back and forth. Okay. Well, American League, National League. Isaac saying Blackjack's game is moved to Gatineau, Quebec on Saturday. The Masters Indigenous Games are taking place at the regular stadium. Gatineau Blackjacks for the win. There you go. It's not too far to go, just across the border into Quebec, and you can go there. And yeah, okay, very, very cool. Very, very cool. Cool Cat saying, I love hockey when it's Canada versus USA. I get all excited and patriotic like hell. Can't sit down. Laugh out loud. Especially when they had that Four Nations tournament earlier this year. Wow, that really got people nationalistic for Canada, considering all the bullshit that was going on with Trump. And yeah, it was really, really a good little tournament. The one with the Sweden, Finland, Canada, and U.S. earlier this year. Really, really interesting. Curling is the worst. Yeah, curling's pretty bad. Curling's a pretty boring sport. I'll agree with that. That's a sport that people in my family have done. My grandfather is a curler. I have cousins and uncles that curl and aunts. And I don't know. There's a lot of people in Manitoba I know that curl. But to me, it's like, I mean, I guess it could kind of be fun. It's like kind of like some game that we used to play in high school with little paper football. Get it to this edge on the table or something like that. Shuffleboard, stuff like that. That's right. That's right. Isaac saying, I will join the Discord. Game is too damn far to get to by bus. There you go. All right. So it sounds like tomorrow, 1 p.m., you guys want to watch Scarborough versus Ottawa with the Raptors Freaks on the Discord server. Yeah, we'll be on there. I'll put the game on live, so you don't need to find the link. We can just put it on. I'm pretty sure we'll be able to do that. We'll have to see. Cool Cat saying, I can only watch baseball live. It's fun. TV is torture. As a kid, I was forced to watch lots of Atlanta Braves games during my summer vacations in St. Thomas. I understand all the details, but I rebel. It seems like they forced Atlanta Braves on most of the world, the Superstation TBS, for a while there. Yeah, because they were like a Superstation cable network. So the Braves had a reach like way bigger than any of the other MLB teams. It was kind of messed up. Turner Broadcasting Systems. Turner Broadcasting, yeah. It was Turner because he owned the Braves. And, well, it sounds like the people in the islands were having to watch the Braves, along with most of the southeast of the United States. Most of the southeast, that's right. Kaz is saying the Gladiators didn't hold back. The contestants would get destroyed. Yeah, those guys, the Gladiators are interesting because, like, where did they come from? Some of them were former football players. Some of them were just like fitness models that look good with muscles. Some of them were from other things. Like maybe one of them was a professional wrestler somewhere else. I don't know. But yeah, they were interesting show. Very, very interesting show. In some ways, will they revitalize and renew new American Gladiators? It seems like that's a winner. Seems like that's a winner if you do. I don't know. Maybe the license is too expensive and nobody's going to go buy it from the person who's holding it. Who knows? Who knows? Kaloy saying, I watched the Gavin Newsom and it looks like we have a new contender. The tweets are so funny. The Gavin Newsom presser. Yeah, he's on it, man. And I listen, they're going to be playing dirty pool. We got to fight back in dirty pool ways also. No more being Mr. Nice Guy. If they're going to throw the rule book out the window, well, in some ways, we got to do things to protect the democracy in the way we got to. And if they're going to openly say we're going to cheat by redistricting Texas, well, motherfucker, you find out just how powerful California is by having all blue. You'll find out, and that will be game over right there. In some ways, it's such an amazing gambit that if if it's done, he will absolutely crush and win the House for the Democrats. If this is done, this is the kind of energy we needed from the Democratic Party to stand up and be a little bit out of the rules, just to stand up to the people that are completely out of the rules and absolutely destroying the United States right now. And honestly, he's going to get more and more popular if he continues this energy towards him. It's hilarious. A reporter came up to him and said, why are you writing these unhinged, crazy, toxic tweets right now? He said, well, if you're going to ask me this about my tweets, you better go ask the president because I'm just mirroring exactly what he does. So why are you going to ask me that question if you're not going to go ask Donald Trump why the hell he is tweeting the way he does? This is a perfect answer. And that's the whole point of what he's doing. He's showing just how asinine and crazy and immature and fucked up Donald Trump is on Twitter. And he's just mirroring him. And the press has the audacity to come at him and say, why would you say such crazy stuff like that? Man, I'm not doing anything different than Donald Trump, is what he told them. Why aren't you asking him? This is what he said. It's like so good, man. He's so smart. And he's doing this exactly right. W. Lex, thank you. Cat's saying, Lex, how tall are you? I'm almost 6'5". If I've got shoes on, I'm 6'5". I'm about 6'4", 6'3", 6'5", right around there. I'm a good size shooting guard. But I play historically. I've played center. I played power forward. I've also played small and two. I'm not a one, but I can play all the other positions. Depending on how big the other people I'm playing are, I can often play center just because I'm a good shot blocker and I'm a really good low post defender. But if there's bigger people out there, I kind of slot down to like 2 or 3 at a certain point. So yeah, 6'4", 6'5". If I've got my shoes on, I'm about 6'5". Yeah. Let's see. Cyborg Lex. Okay. Fierce. Yeah, because I do have cyborg parts. I do. I have different parts. I cut my face in half. The windshield cut my face in half in that wreck 34 years ago today. And you can see on my face, my nose was sewed back on. My lip was hanging off over the side. They had to sew my lip back on because I was that fucked up, guys. I had plastic surgery to reconstruct my face because the windshield cut it right in half. It's crazy, man. It's crazy stuff, man. Fiercely saying 31 years. Be grateful, Lex. It's a miracle. I'm glad you're still with us. I know. Seriously, that would have been a totally different world if, in some ways, like, look, I feel like, I have a purpose. And part of it is this channel. What I'm doing with you guys right now is a huge part of my purpose. But also at the same time, I feel like that second chance in that moment 31 years ago was a real thing because like I could have just died there. I literally know the feeling of dying. I know what it feels like when you're dying. I know what it feels like to feel your life leaving your body. Like somebody got shot and they're laying in the street and they're just like expiring right in front of your eyes. That shit almost happened to me. I could have bled to death in that car easily if that police officer had not driven by at that time and saw me. It was at 4 a.m. on a Sunday night, Monday morning in the middle of the summer in Tallahassee when the students are not in school and there's nobody on the roads except for drunks like me and cops like him. And the way that the car landed on the side of the road, the on non-damaged side was facing the road, and he drove by it. It looked just like a car that had pulled off the side road, and it didn't look anything wrong. But he said for some reason he looked in his rearview mirror, and he saw the totally damaged driver's side of the car, and he turned around. and I can remember his voice. I cannot remember any visuals of what happened because I was pretty much like out and just kind of like, but I can hear his voice, and his voice was so scared. When he saw what I looked like, when he walked up, he's like, "Are you all right?" And he's asking me all these questions. I could hear the fear in his voice about what I looked like. And I was able to give him all my information as far as where I lived, my name, and they were able to contact my parents, and they took me to the hospital. They had to rip the roof off of my 1979 Chevrolet Monte Carlo 305, beautiful ass General Motors, Canadian made Monte Carlo. That was it saved my life because there's a real metal car with a real kind of metal to it that took the impact, and it saved my life there too, along with that cop. So it's a very, very serious incident. And they took me to the hospital. They ripped the roof off of my car to get me out of the car with the jaws of life. And they took me to the hospital. I had 6 surgeries. And I was out from Sunday that morning until Wednesday was when I woke up from the surgeries and just being out. It was like 3 days later after when I came back to after all that. This was 94, guys. We're at 2025 at this point. I would never gotten to see the Raptors ever if I died that night because they weren't playing yet. It was 94. Oh, man. Blackhawks fan, I'm glad you're here with us today. I appreciate that, Neil. I'm glad I got a chance to meet you and hang out with you multiple times like we have in recent years. That's right. Kaz saying Terminator 2 Judgment Day, one of my favorite movies. Yeah. I mean, I really just have the metal in here. I have a rod in my leg too. Like I have a steel rod in my femur because I broke my femur in half in that wreck too. I lost the whole, like the dashboard came down on my leg and pinned me in my leg, right? And broke my leg in half. Like basically the biggest bone in your body is your femur. And it broke right in half. And I had no idea that my femur was broken in half. I knew I fucked up. I was drunk. I was drunk driving. Yeah. And I got penalized and I got criminally charged. And I fell asleep at the wheel and hit a telephone pole and bounced around and crashed. And my first instinct when I woke up from the crash was to get the hell out of the car and run away because I knew I was in trouble. So I tried to get out of the car. And I didn't realize the dash had pinned me down and broken my leg in half. So I tried to get out of the car and I lifted my left arm. And this elbow that's bionic was broken completely. But I could move my hand, but I could not manipulate my elbow at all. So my arm was just hanging like this, like there's no use in this part of my arm, but I could move my fingers. It was so weird and creepy. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with my arm? So I lifted my arm out the door of the car and tried to pull the handle with my hand, which I could still manipulate with my hand and bang into the door to get out. But it wouldn't budge. And let alone did I know that the dash had pinned my leg down. I didn't know. So I wasn't going anywhere. I was like, well, you're dead to rights, Lex. You did this. You're going to have to own up to it when they find you or whatever, what happens. And then I started to realize I'm dying. I'm like, oh, shit. I can feel my blood running out of my body all in my car. And I'm dying. I'm literally dying right now. You're 18 years old and you're realizing that you may die right there. Well, I did my own last rites to myself. I said, Lex, if you're going to die right now, man, you better die happy. And you better think about the good things about your life and what you lived already and be okay with it. I had to be at peace at that moment. But I got saved. Thank God. It's weird, man. But yeah, having to do your own last rites and feeling the feeling of your body leaving your life, leaving your body is scary as fuck. But I've seen it and I understand it better than most people having a near-death experience and still being here. I do understand what death is like, guys, because I've almost been there. And it's messed up, man. It's messed up. It's scary. It's scary to feel your life leaving you. It's scary. Yeah. Let's keep going. Sorry for the aside and the personal stories today, but man, this is just an important date to me. August 15th is a big day to me every year. Yeah. Yeah. It's like my second birthday is what I call it. I mean, I have 3 birthdays. I got my real birthday, I got my AA birthday, and then I got my birthday where I almost died. And that's this one today. That's right. See what I said? I always had bad seats in the dome hang on, it jumped ahead. Why did it jump ahead like that? Okay. I always had bad seats in the dome going with the Boys and Girls Club or the rec center, but Sean Bradley was long as fuck. Yeah, you can't miss Sean Bradley out there, even at the Dome on the 500 level at a Raptors game. You can't miss him. That's right. Kaloy saying, but a lot of things in hockey make question, why is that not a foul? With hockey, you can do a lot of physical stuff just as long as you don't use that stick in certain ways. You can do a lot of physical stuff just as long as you don't use that stick in certain ways. Tripping, the stick up near the face, any of that kind of stuff, you'll get in trouble for. I mean, some of the pushing and shoving and hitting people, yeah, that's fine. Just no stick stuff to the face and maybe no tripping. Don't put that stick around somebody's leg and trip them. Seymour saying Lindsay Dunn couldn't stop licking her lips talking to Serge Ibaka. Yeah. It was. I saw that interview, and it's kind of a commercial for what Serge is doing with the Spanish restaurants, and saying Serge Ibaka is in town to promote Spanish restaurants and Spanish beer that he wants to promote right now. But yeah, Lindsay likes talking to Serge. Serge is awesome. We love Serge. Hopefully he's still around Toronto right now. Let's go look. Instagram stories will tell us. All right, first of all, Raptors official admin put out a crossword with Garrett Temple yesterday. It's hilarious. And Jamal Shed posted it, and he said, hint, some of these teams don't exist anymore. It's like basically a crossword saying every NBA team Garrett Temple has ever played for. And y'all might have wanted to do this, but Garrett Temple's reposted, and he's laughing at what Jamal said about him. It's true, though. It's pretty cool that they did this Garrett Temple crossword, honestly. Toronto Tempo president Teresa Resch is celebrating the Vancouver game today. Is going on today, guys. The Tempo Live is there to be the Toronto Tempo are in Vancouver for an event today to promote their team over there. It's awesome. I love it. Let's go, Tempo. I can't wait for y'all to play next year. I really can't. She's got on blast the 4 Canadians that are in the WNBA right now. And I have to say, 3 of them have appeared on my fantasy team this year. 2 of them are currently on my fantasy team right now. That's Letitia Emma here and Aaliyah Edwards. And then Kia Nurse has bounced on and off of my team here and there. And, of course, Bridget Carlton is the 4th Canadian in the WNBA currently. And I love that stuff. Yeah, WNBA weekend. We couldn't be more grateful to be here connecting with our Vancouver Tempo community. So they started it. They started the WNBA weekend over there right now. They got a drum gifted to them, to the Toronto Tempo drum. That's pretty cool. I like that. Very, very cool events over there. There's Evan Gilliard II get the interview after the game last night, beating the Edmonton Stingers with 28 points. Evan Gilliard II of Raptors 905, the leading scorer for the Surge, and leading them to their play-in victory in the CBL last night. I love to see it. He got 28, 5 assists, and 3 rebounds. Gilliard II, I hope you're back in Mississauga this year, man. I really do. He's got that cool cyborg technology around him, too. If y'all talking about Terminator and cyborg, well, Evan Gilliard's a cyborg, apparently, according to Calgary Surge advertisements. That's right. There you go. Good job, Evan Gilliard, getting it done. Ulrich Shamshe putting on blast our guy Bruno Fernando, who had a big, huge game for Angola yesterday. He was dominating, man. Bruno Fernando is also his birthday today, guys. So happy birthday to Angola's Bruno Fernando, who's really showing up for Angola right now, making them a force, and they're winning the games. Wubbs is showing his training video right now, training. And then also he's celebrating Bruno Fernando winning his game with Angola. Of course, they were teammates last year at the beginning of the year, Jacoby's rookie year. And I love to see the respect shown to a former teammate, Bruno Fernando, by Jacoby Walter. That's very, very good. Eric Smith's got the schedule up on his Instagram. He's saying, let's go. That's right. Let's go, Eric Smith. I'm digging this schedule. It looks good to me, guys. It looks very interesting. And I'll have some very interesting points about it on Sunday, on the Sunday special report. Tomorrow, Saturday, Share the Love Club, Norman Powell. We're going to share the love for Norman and his work with Team Jamaica recently, and also his Norman Powell at Chubby's Jamaican Kitchen tonight. Kelly Olynyk is in San Antonio, of course. He got traded to San Antonio in the offseason. And, well, Kelly's got to find out about the restaurants in San Antonio. So he's got to find some gems, apparently. It looks like he found a sushi place he really likes. He's taking some artsy pictures of the sushi being made in front of him. They're doing flames and a row in front of things and all kinds of stuff at this sushi place in San Antonio. So Kelly's a foodie, and he's continuing to discover the foods of San Antonio since he's a Spur now. There's some salmon with a roe on top of it. Man, that looks crazy tasty. Wow, Kelly is living a charmed life. That's for sure. He's eating the best food. That's for sure. Wow, that flame looks dangerous. Wow, it goes all the way down the bar. That's crazy. These guys are blue flaming it. All right, okay. And there's Kelly's wife and partner who's got the baby inside her right now. There you go. AJ Lawson is at the keg. No, wait, he's at a Canada basketball game. He's watching Global Jam, and the keg advertisement is just in front of him. There you go. AJ's sitting. It looks like he's sitting with. Is that Melvin Ejim? I don't know. He's with his dad at least. We see AJ at Global Jam with his dad, and there he is getting interviewed. Is that Danielle Michaud that's sitting there with him? Yeah, it is Danielle Michaud. Michaud got her Sportsnet microphone taken from her, and AJ's dad's using it instead. Hilarious. I love that. Dad's got next. That's what it says. There's the Angolan, Bruno Fernando. He's got a ton of stories up right now. Everybody's wishing him a happy birthday. Like everybody. He's got like a 30 birthday wishes up on here. Bruno Fernando, 27 years of joy. That's amazing. I love you, Bruno. And in some ways, I'm glad I'm following you still on Instagram. Seeing what you're doing with Angola is fun right now. That's right. There you go. There he is in the Raptors jersey. Everybody's saying happy birthday to him. So many happy birthday wishes. He's got so many happy birthday wishes. Bruno's a popular guy, apparently. He's got a lot of birthday wishes. They're from all over the place. I don't even want to check into who they all are from. They're just from all over the place. There's Andrew Jones with Ava Jones. And they were at Toronto Metropolitan University watching some basketball yesterday. Not sure what game. And Coach Andrew Jones is teaching his daughter the game, like in the game, studying the game with dad. And well, that's the cool thing. Like Andrew can probably teach her so much just sitting with her, watching other people play. Man, I'm really excited for Ava Jones. I'm telling you guys, she's going to be something. I'm telling you right now. I see it. I see it. Slim Duck. Chris Boucher saying they can't block what they can't see. Okay, I like that. And there he is. This is where Slim Duck was last night. He was not at the CEBL game for Montreal Alliance against Scarborough. He's at the TMU. He's been there consistently this week in runs at Toronto Metropolitan University, aka formerly known as Ryerson. He's down there doing runs with people, just random people playing basketball. That's what he's been doing. That's where he was last night. He did not go to the game and watch Quincy play, but there's a picture of him with Quincy on the last picture of his things, and he's not wearing the Raptors stuff anymore. You see it. The Raptors stuff is not on Chris's body at this point. He's a Celtic. And that's just how it is. Luget's Dort's reposting this lady freaking out about seeing Luget's. It's kind of funny. Yeah, Luget's is funny. Savannah Hamilton is out in Vancouver, of course, doing the Indigenous Girls Camp. And yeah, they're talking about her, WNBA, talking the Line 'em Up initiative. Very, very cool stuff there. Good stuff. Give it to them. There you go. Getting more ladies involved. And Cinderella Stories podcast with Ashley Docking. She's going on and on about Aja Wilson being the best player in the WNBA right now. Yeah, I'm feeling that from MK this week. Let's just put it that way. And his fantasy WNBA team. Yeah, she's been kicking my butt. There's Jamal Shed putting on blast. The NBA Paint has been making little drawings for our NBA schedule coming up. They've got the Raptor in a Halloween costume for the Halloween game, and they got us hunting bucks. The NBA Paint thing is okay. It's goofy. It's just goofy. Jamal Shed's trainer is saying this about him, guys. Improving every day. Proud of how far Jamal Shed has come. He's improved his tissue quality and movement mechanics tremendously over the last 12 months. I know that this is probably the access to the facilities that the Toronto Raptors provide and offer him, and the expertise, the tutelage, the resources, the coaches, and all the things that Toronto give him. It can make the best Jamal Shed that Jamal Shed could possibly be. And the training programs are very pointed and specific towards specific skills. And you can tell his body looks different. His body, when he was a rookie coming in at this time last year, was more pudgy and dough-like. Now, this man has more muscle on him now. And he's a little bit more like that. That's what his trainer's saying. He has more muscular fiber in certain places. And he's really working on his balance, guys. I'm going to say that right now. Jamal is really working on his balance right now. So, yeah, let's see what else. Jamal did this event a couple of weeks ago. He went out and said, guys, what's a good park to have a street ball game in Austin, Texas? And he asked. And, well, they got it organized, and they did it yesterday. Jamal going down there and playing street ball with a bunch of people in Austin on a court outside. And I'm telling you, Jamal was balling. It's like there's so many highlights of him just bombing threes from the outside and taking guys off the dribble and just kicking their ass. So Shed was a bucket yesterday on this park down in Austin, Texas. He's just a bucket, man. Bombing threes, crossing over guys, and then shooting the three up. He's just killing people, man. Killing people. Like straight up hooper right now, man. So there's a lot of highlights on Jamal's of this game. It was public and people were out there filming it. And yeah, it looked like it was a lot of fun. And he just looks really good in it. He did not embarrass himself. He looked like a badass NBA player shooting almost a half court shot. Crazy stuff. Really good. Jamal Shed is a bucket, is what the message is there. Vancouver, the Tempo are there. So y'all be around Tempo events. If you are in Vancouver, British Columbia, go on and support and check out the Tempo events going on right now in your area over in British Columbia. That's right. Tempo crew is there. So go on down there and get your cotton candy. That's right. Get your cotton candy and check the whole thing out. That's right. Sephora's there too. So check out Sephora, corporate sponsor. DeMar DeRozan walking down the streets. I'm guessing he's in Compton with his son in his hands. And he's playing the song, The Game, Like Father, Like Son. Yeah, you know, DeMar is a very doting father. And in some ways, his dad was really good to him. And he has a good role model of dad from his dad. And, well, he wants to be all the things he can be for his children. And I know that he's very, very special to his daughters, but even very special with his son also. Yeah, I love that. I love that so much. Raptors officials got the NBA paint, and it's goofy. There's the schedule. I'm telling you, the schedule, the one day that the month that looks really good is February, guys. Woo, February looks good for the Raptors schedule right now. And I am hearing some grumbling from different teams that their schedule sucks and they hate it. Miami hates their schedule because apparently in their first 8 games, they have to play 6 on the road against playoff teams. Like the Miami Heat, the beginning of their schedule is like 6 games on the road against like top teams to start their schedule right away. And we know the Heat are kind of in disarray, and they may have a lot of trouble right off the gate because they're playing very tough games on the road. And we don't really play the Heat much in the beginning of the season, but we play them near the end. We have 2 games against the Heat near the end of the season when they come here to Toronto. So we'll have to see how that goes when it all pans out. Siakam's all about a soccer player guy. He's in that Fergie mindset is what he's saying. Some guy named Fergie, and he's wearing his jersey, and he's showing pictures of him on his Instagram. Jameson Battle still asking y'all, and it's today when this starts. This is the last chance to join his FPL League, which is Fantasy Premier League. So seriously, y'all want to play fantasy sports with our sharpshooter Jameson Battle? Well, he's looking for people that know Premier League and want to play fantasy in it. So seriously, get in there right now, Raptor Freak. If you know Premier League, and get in Jameson Battle's Fantasy Premier League. Seriously, y'all. It's on his Instagram stories. Get it done. Seriously, we want somebody in there. Eugene Omeroy's flying around again. Let the journey begin. I don't know where he's going. Where are you going, Eugene? What does that say on there? You're going to Dubai. Okay, so he's going to Dubai from Toronto. Let's see. Norman Powell Youth Basketball Camp, August the 23rd, and Lincoln High School in San Diego. That's right. They're gonna have that going on. But of course, tonight Norman is here in Toronto at Chubby's Jamaican Kitchen. The event is tonight, and so get down to Chubby's if you want to see Norman. 8 p.m. is the time when it starts. They're going to be giving out. They're going to not giving out, but they're going to have Understand the Grind limited Jamaican edition merchandise, and that sounds badass. And of course, Norman will be there himself. So come on down to Norman Powell and friends at Chubby's Jamaican Kitchen, celebrating the success of the Jamaican national team in their recent games. That's right. Let's see what else we got. Okay, it looks like she's interviewing Norman today. Lindsay Dunn showing overtures in the last hour that she's meeting up with Norman to do an interview today. So she getting a couple of these champions in a row. Yeah, a couple of these champions in a row. Lloyd's on a nice street. There you go. There's the Instagram stories. Took a little while there, but that's the Instagram stories for right now. Let's see. James is saying, Lex, you got the shooting guard build. Yeah. I mean, I've always been kind of a lanky guy. I've been more of a slasher kind of guy, but also I've been very tall in a lot of cases. So I have had shot blocking ability and rebounding ability over shorter people. So sometimes I'll play front court for that reason. I have really good timing. I'm a good shot blocker. I can block people's shots. Yeah, I can block people's shots. Bam, send it the other way. That's right. Kaz saying, sheesh, I didn't know you were that tall. I'm around 5'9". Yeah, I'm a tall guy. I'm not I'm above average height, that's for sure. But I'm not like NBA height, too crazy. I mean, in the picture of me with Scotty, you can see I'm pretty tall. Scotty's like 6'9", and I'm not that much shorter than him. I'm only like less than a half foot shorter than Scott. So Fiercely saying, I cannot blame her. Mafuzi man is easy on the eyes. Whoa. There's Fiercely saying that Serge Ibaka might be the male version of eye candy for the ladies. Maybe that's it right there. So he's saying, Lex, you really saw the twilight. Thankfully, your grandfather pushed you back. I did. I did. I'm telling you, man, that near death experience is a real thing. And like people that talk about it, I've had that experience for real. And I know what it's like. In some ways, I'm not afraid of death because of it. Is that weird? Like, seriously, some people are very afraid of death because it's just unknown. But getting a taste of it and seeing what it's like has made me not afraid of it in some ways. It's like if my time is going to come, it's going to come. And I'll accept it in that moment. I would have done it then at 18. At that point, not even living half the life that I've lived since. I would have done it at that time. I was going to be okay. If this was the time to go, it was the time to go. And in some ways, why struggle against it? Why fight against it? Why be in agony in your last moments of life? There's no point. You want to go serenely and not against it. And that's what I had decided. And it was time to go. And I had conked out. I was out. I was ready to go. I had like everything had stopped and I was out. And then I heard the voice and it woke me up. And he said, "Are you okay? Who are you? What do you do? What, where are you? What is your name? All this stuff." It's crazy. And the fact that they could get me out of there before all the blood rushed out of my body and get me to the hospital and save my ass. Yeah, it was close. It was close. It was close. Seymour saying there was an old War Amps commercial, the robot fixing itself saying, "I can fix my arm. You can't. Don't drink and drive." Yeah. Yeah. Drinking and driving is a very bad thing. This is why I'm a big advocate against it, because I'm guilty and I've made a lot of mistakes in my younger life, in my early 20s as an alcoholic. And, you know, you don't want, let alone, forget about yourself. If I had done something to somebody else, like if somebody else had been in that car and they've been hurt or killed, the guilt I would have had. And the fact that thank God I didn't hit anybody else either. It was totally just me involved in this wreck. Single person, single car accident, nobody else involved other than a telephone pole and a ditch. And thank God nobody else was involved. Thank God. Yeah, eye candy, laughing at eye candy. Kaz saying W Monte Carlo back when cars were full steel. Yeah, it was one of those. Probably saved your life. I've always wanted an old school Monte Carlo Regal Cutlass. It's a beautiful car. I love that car to this day. That car gave its life for me, man. It was just a beautiful car, man. The mileage, the odometer, it was in kilometers because it was Canadian made. And of course, I lived in Florida, right? So in high school, when I drive this car around, some of my friends would want to smoke weed on lunch, and we go like to the park, and then we drive around, and they look at my speedometer, and they say, "Are we really going 100 right now?" And I was like, "Yeah, we're going 100." And they'd be like, "Wow, your car's so smooth at 100. There's 100 kilometers per hour, not 100 miles per hour." But I didn't want to tell them that because they just saw it. It visually looked pretty interesting. They didn't know it was a Canadian car. They didn't know it was in kilometers. And I'd fool people that all the time. It's like, "Man, Lex's car is so fast and smooth," is what they used to say. I love that shit. That's a part of the fun. And the other cool thing about the Monte Carlo being Canadian was the heater was amazing. It had such a good heater. Yeah. It was a weird, like, mint green car. Like, it was mint green, but it faded in the Florida sunshine. So it started to look like glow in the dark color, like glow in the dark toys. It was that color, my Monte Carlo. And the inside of it was a green interior, like with the green 80s seats, GM. Yeah, it was like that, Cass. I once had a guy. All right. I pulled up at a convenience store in Florida in Tallahassee once, and a guy was standing outside with his car, and he straight up offered for a trade for my car a whole pound of cannabis. He said, "I'll give you a pound of cannabis for your car right now." It was a pretty cool car. I'm not gonna lie. Cool Cat saying, "Lex, it was not your time. Glad that you're here with us sharing your passions." I appreciate that, Cool Cat. I am very glad too. And a lot of people out there are very glad also that I'm gonna hopefully see my 50th birthday next week. And that'll be awesome. That'll be awesome. Yeah, Fiercely's put the prayers out. I appreciate that, guys. Cool Cat saying, "Lex, don't ever go to the US during this era. That car accident will be pulled. Hang on. That car accident will be pulled up and held against you, regardless of it being many years ago. Yes and no. I mean, that's not my last DUI, unfortunately. I got like 4 different DUIs, but they've been changed at different ways. Like some of them were like reckless driving, like put down to reckless driving, but I have quite a few DUIs. But let's not get it twisted. Florida has DUIs on everybody. The mayor's got DUIs, the weatherman's got DUIs, your high school gym coach has DUIs. Everybody's got DUIs down there. It's just part of the culture. It's part of the making money off of people and their misery is to throw those DUIs on everybody. In some ways, they could change the system where they could cut down drunk driving by building better public transit or other systems, but they don't because it's a racket and they like making the money off of people that have drinking problems. So in some ways, it's the ecosystem. In some ways, it's not like up here. They don't give a shit about DUIs down there. I mean, the president is who he is, and look at all his criminality. You think they give a shit about my DUIs down there? They do not. They're going to give a shit more about my anti-Trump posts on Facebook than my criminal record. Yeah. Roger Raymond said, wow, Lex, I'm so glad you made it and you have just dedicated your life to doing so much better. Thank you for sharing your experience. No problem, Roger. And thank you for supporting the channel. In some ways it's like, look, I was destined to know that the Raptors were going to be here. I had to be here for it. And maybe that's part of the reason why I kept going. To be the Raptors freak, I had to know the Raptors. And if I died that day, 31 years ago, I would have never seen the Raptors. And it would have been right before the Raptors started, which is too bad if that had happened. But thank God it didn't. Thank God. Kaloy saying, hey, Lex, did you already comment on the schedule drop? I'm not doing it until Sunday. I'm going to go over it very specific. I'll go through the whole entire schedule and talk about it very specifically. I'm basically giving you the cliff notes of what I think. I think it's a great schedule. I think it's one of the best schedules we had in years. And I think it's very doable. And I think Darko and the guys are going to be very successful with this schedule. I think the schedule last year was set up for us to fail. And we did our best considering and got a 30-win season with all of our easy games at the end of it. There's a lot more balance. There's a lot more balance in this schedule between the hard games and the easy games. They're all spread out instead of just concentrated in different parts. So this is good. This is very, very good. Cool Cat saying, Lex, it shows character that this life experience has changed you for the better of humanity. We love you, man. We appreciate the lessons. I appreciate that, Cool Cat. And I love you too. And I mean, listen, I feel like humanity gets so selfish sometimes. They don't want to be vulnerable. They don't want to share experience. They don't want to show that, we're all human and we have experiences that we can have common. And in some ways, some of the stuff that I want to be so open and aware about is to build community and to build bonds and to show that we have way more in common than we have difference, because there's so many people out there that are trying to make us all feel like we're different than each other and we don't have a shared humanity. And that's messed up. That's messed up. That's not right. Community and people sharing and being together and being collective is powerful. And that's why they don't like it. That's why they try and rip it apart and make it other things, man. I love you guys too. Trevor's saying the grandfather gave you a second chance, so you have to give them all the praise. My grandfather's an amazing person. I mean, he fought in World War II as a freedom fighter, not on the Allied side, not on the Nazi side, as a person that just lived in Estonia, that didn't want the Nazis there, didn't want the Russians there. So he shot at both sides. So it's like, yeah, I love my grandfather so much. And his essence and his energy is around where I live so heavy. I mean, he built the house I live in now. So it's like I feel his energy every single day because it's staring me in the face quite often in the building that I live in right now, because he built this place I live in right now. And it's a very powerful place for me, for my family history, where I live right now. I'm taking care of sacred ancestral land here, as far as like, this is the plot of land that my grandfather bought and he wanted to cultivate and make into something. And I'm taking that dream further after it not being really dealt with for a couple decades. There's a lot of like ignoring and not taking care of this place before I came out here, and I'm fixing it up now. And in some ways, that's part of me giving back to my grandfather, right there. Cass saying, wow, what a story. Thanks for sharing with us. Super grateful you're here today. Respect that, man. That stopped and saved your life. I wish I could say I quit drinking after that, but I didn't. It took me another 15 years to continue my alcoholism and fuck up my life until 2010. And now 15 years since then, I have 15 years of no alcohol since 2010. But yeah, alcohol was a very, very bad part of my life for the first 35 years of my life. And it was basically I drank from 15 to 35, 20-year career in alcohol, and that's it. I'm done. And I'll have more of my life. I haven't been drinking alcohol now at this point. 15 years plus 15 years, that's 30 years with no alcohol, 20 years with it, 50 years life. Yeah. But of course, you're a kid. Although I might have drank a little bit when I was a kid, like just because my parents were like, hey, give them a beer just for fun. I don't know. Either way. Let's see. Seymour saying life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get. Yeah. Okay. Forrest Gump. Forrest Gump. Yeah. Seymour saying the SS is dangerous. Too much power. SS? The Scarborough Shooting Stars? The Shooting Stars. That's right. Let's go. Let's go. Randolph saying blessings, beloved Raptor freaks. You are a winner. With every step you take forward, so keep moving forward no matter the obstacles, challenges, enemies, or evil you may encounter. There you go. I love that encouraging words of wisdom from Randolph. Blessings to Phyllis family, all the Raptor Freak families. That's very encouraging. We can overcome. That's what some people said in the past, and we did. Well, we're going to have to do it again because people want to backtrack the time machine and go to another era. It's kind of crazy, man. These people are messed up. Seriously. And the modern day Nazis called MAGA need to be put in their place. And that means get the fuck out and no more power. And you guys are criminals and y'all will hopefully be subjugated to criminal charges and trials, just like the Nazis were 100 years ago. That's right. That's what we want. That's right. James is saying, Lex, what's the best muscle car? You know, I'm partial to this Chevrolet Monte Carlo just because of my personal connections to it. But, you know, Camaro's always been a badass car, man. A Camaro is a badass car. I've always thought Camaro was pretty damn cool. Camaro. I mean, if you really want to get kind of cool in utility, El Caminos are cool as hell, too. I know if you trick out an El Camino, you could have a pretty badass muscle car there, too. Yeah. Yeah. Kazakhstan 79. Yeah. The year of my car was a 79 Chevrolet Monte Carlo built here in Canada. It was a Canadian-made Chevrolet that we bought and went down to Florida with. And it was the family car when I was a kid. And then when I got old enough, they wanted to get a new car, my parents. So they let me have the old family car, the Monte Carlo, when I was of age to start driving in high school. Yeah. James said, oh, okay, I might have missed it. Yeah, it was a 79. 79 was the year of the car. Yeah, Seymour says 69 Pontiac GTO. Well, there you go. Now we're getting into that stuff. There we go. I always wanted one of the Buick GNXs. Okay. Grand Nationals are so tough. Look at it, man. We're very good with the topics. You know, we'll go politics. Then we'll go into like, what were we doing the other day? Gossip. Gossip about relationships. And then like what we'll do like old TV shows. Yeah, we're all over. We're doing hot rods today. All right, we'll do some cars here. That's right. Yeah, man, jet black with the rims. There you go. Grand Nationals. Okay. Okay, y'all. Let's see. Only 547 GNX models were ever produced, making it a highly sought after collector's car. Cool. Very, very cool. Randolph saying, Lex, I thank you for the Lord for sparing your life and giving you another chance. And I'm more thankful that you are not wasting your precious time. You are immensely blessing lives, mine included. Oh, man. That seriously, that is part of what keeps me going, is to get the feedback saying that I am making a difference. Sometimes I wonder, because this channel is not huge. It's not a channel that is widespread and well known, but that's fine, because in some ways we found our group, and we have a community. And that's what we wanted to do here, was have a positive community. And I do really feel like I was talking to Mike on the phone yesterday, like I said I would, because we have a project. And Mike said this to me on the phone yesterday. He said, Lex, one of the things I really respect about you is I really do feel like you're making a difference in the Raptors world, because I can see people are being more open-minded to being positive and looking towards the light and good things happening. And I feel like that is really my main objective. It's like I saw how toxic Raptors fans were being, and how very doomsday and negative, and just like always thinking pessimistically about the Raptors. And I was like, why are we doing this? If we want to be successful, we have to have a successful, positive mindset that looks towards success and not always pointing out the failures and the problems that we have. And it really oriented the way that I made this channel. And Mike's telling me, I feel like you're making a difference because in some ways we see overall Raptors Nation is more respectful of the team and loving the team and being more with the team and not against the team as a critic. And I think that that's my legacy for what I've been trying to do. That's it. Is that I wanted people to love and respect the Raptors properly. Instead of being cynics, instead of being Leaf fans as Raptors fans acting like Leaf fans would, we needed to separate it and make a new culture, a supportive, loving culture that is actually for the team and not a bunch of little shits that are critics and talking out of their ass all the time. So, yeah, Mike and I have some amazing ideas coming up, and you guys are going to see them on the channel. They're coming. And we talked about it yesterday. And I'm really excited about the collaborations I'm going to be doing with Logical Raptors Fanatic very soon. Very, very soon. You guys are going to see it. That's right. You guys are going to see it. That's right. Let's keep going. I appreciate you, Randolph, so much, man. I really do. Kaloy said, I just feel so glad to have found your channel, Lex. I appreciate that too, Kaloy. You've been a good friend, and getting to know all you guys little by little over time has been fantastic. It's been fantastic to hear you guys' stories and your lives and things that you want to share with me. It's been great to round out the whole idea of who the Raptor Freaks are. And I appreciate you guys so much too, man. This is a two-way street, as I always say. This is I may be the one on the screen, but you guys I'm bouncing off of you guys and what you say. And that's really important. Let's see. Wayne saying, morning Raptor Freaks. Schedule looks good. Nice. Yeah, I think so. I like it. The back-to-backs are reasonable. There's no crazy, weird, they even made the trips different. The West Coast trips are different for this year. It's no real long one. There's no trip where we're gone for like over a week. They're all the trips. They come back to Toronto within a week. In the past, usually there's a West Coast trip that could be almost 2 weeks long where the team is gone for a long ass time. Instead, there's 3 long road trips. The first one's in the Eastern Conference. And then the other 2 are 5-game road trips out west just to capture all the Pacific teams on 2 different trips. One in January and one in March. And they're reasonable trips. And there is a back-to-back that's goofy between Phoenix and Utah. But in some ways, the Utah game is the second night of the back-to-back. They're a shittier team, and we should be able to do that okay. But traveling one night, playing in Phoenix, and then going straight to Utah for the next night, that shouldn't be too bad. That may be the worst back-to-back we have all season from looking at the schedule. Yeah, I've looked at it. I want to save my main points about it for Sunday, special report this Sunday, 9:30, schedule. We're going to go over it. That's right. Seymour's wants the classic card. That's right. We're about 10 minutes away from 2 hours, so maybe we're going to get through it real quick. Cool Cat saying a family friend named his daughter Camaro because of his love of his favorite car. We just accepted the tribute, never laughed at it. Now she's married and has a kid. It's actually not a bad name, Camaro. I think that, people's names, people make such a big deal out of names sometimes. Sure, maybe you shouldn't name your kid Adolf. And maybe someday you won't want to name your kid Donald. That's probably sure. I don't think many people want to name their kids Donald anymore. I mean, my good friend Donald Jones down in Atlanta, I love you, Donald. In some ways, do you feel bad about your name being Donald at this point, Donald? I would have to ask him. I don't know. Hopefully at some day, Donald will be the same kind of name as Adolf. And people will be like, yeah, I'm not naming my kid Donald. Fuck that. Fuck that. You are not Donald. You are not Donald. Kaloy saying, I am so glad to have this community. My early mornings are not complete without your stream, Lex. I love everyone in the community as well. Yeah, that's awesome, Kaloy. And I do hope that I get to meet you someday at one of the get-togethers at some point. It's too bad that the one that we were going to do this month is not going to happen. It's just coming too quick. And I've got a lot going on, and it's just not going to work. But, yeah, it was a good time last night at the CBL game, and there's going to be a lot of opportunities through Discord. And you know what? Who knows? Maybe we'll get a Raptors game in. Maybe we'll try and get a RFF Raptors game with even with group pricing, and maybe go as a big group if we can. We'll have to see. Seymour's got the love. I love it. And Kaz is saying this. That's funny. Your friends thought you were driving 100 miles an hour. Yeah. I fooled them. Of course, they were on cannabis, so they were a little high already. And they're like, whoa, are you going 100? And I'm like, yeah, I'm going 100. I was going 100 clicks. Your car's so smooth, man. It just glides at 100 miles an hour. It's like really fast and like so smooth. I'm like, yeah, they just make them like that, It's Chevrolet. It's good. Fiercely say, I love my Raptor Freak family. Thank you for your platform, Lex. Thank you for the platform. You're welcome, Fiercey. And man, I've enjoyed getting to know you more and more. Your personality is amazing. And I'm just so excited to know more about Fiercey Jr. and what's going to happen with her over the years. I'm very invested in Fiercey Jr. and her basketball career for sure. Trevor's saying it's been 3 years since I found you, man. Yeah. It's like the channel's going to have its 4-year birthday on September. In September next month, we're going to have the 4 years since I started this channel because I started in 2021 and it was September 2021. So it'll be a 4-year birthday of the channel in September. Yeah, it's crazy. And that I haven't missed a day, y'all. The streak has been every single day since September 2021. And that's almost 1,500 streams in a row. And like I said a while back, I said, I'm going to go for 10,000, guys. If I can get this show to go for like 20 years, I will. I'll do it till the day I die. If there's some sort of weird thing that happens to me and I'm not up here all of a sudden, you'll know something fucked up happened to me. All right. Let's just put it that way. You'll know something fucked up happened to me. Hopefully nothing does, but just so you know. Cool Cat saying Raptor Freak Crew is a global convention over our team. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, in some ways, look, the Raptors are going to know about the Raptor Freaks more and more over time. I know the organization does know about us to a degree. And in some ways, look, we don't have to be official. We can do what we do because we're going to make things happen either way, whether we're bona fide or not. We are a presence in the Raptors nation, and we are a presence that doing stuff like Mike pointed out to me yesterday. He said, look, Lex, you got to understand, you may only do your stream in the morning, but the people that watch you, they go and they put comments out, and some of the stuff you say gets parroted out, especially if it's helpful to the team, if it's positive and it's astute and it's on point. People will take your points from your show, and there is an effect that goes out and into the world and gets more of that out there. That's part of the reason why I like to get out in front of things like Dwayne Casey for team president, because I think people will be misinformed on some of their takes on it. And I say, no, let me point out the way you could look at it where it actually would work. And hopefully that's educating people on that topic and saying, you know what? It's not as simple as Casey's a bad coach. He'd be bad for the president of the Raptors. No, it's not that simple. You got to look at this and dissect it like the Raptors Freak did. And then you can see it. And hopefully I helped with the case for Casey a little bit more in the last month or so. But of course, they haven't decided yet. So we're going to have to see what the decision is in the end. Not a lot of grumbling about this at this point. Not hearing much about the team president search. That's right. We're not hearing much about it. That's right. Trevor's saying, I would not go to any games in Utah. There's nothing to do. 9 o'clock, everything's shut down. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's true. It's true. James is saying he doesn't even like his own name. You're talking about Donald? Yeah. Yeah. His real name is Drumpf. 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 See, we're saying that Trevor. Yeah, Big Perk funny as fuck with that, and Big Baby drinking with the refs. Oh yeah, Perkins Kendrick talking about Oklahoma City, or no, about Utah. Yeah, Utah is a messed up place. It's a kind of a crazy place. It probably has a hard time getting certain players to come there. Seriously. People who say, oh, Toronto has a hard time getting players to come there. I think Utah has problems getting people to come play there because of what Trevor's talking about right here. There's just not a whole lot. I mean, Toronto's on the opposite spectrum of this. There's everything in the world to do in Toronto in the ways of diversity and fun. In Utah, there ain't jack shit. It's just the truth. That's right. All right, let's keep going in the tabs. I do have a straight goods on Canadian goods. You know what it is? It's the CBL, guys. CBL is a Canadian product. If you want to support Canadian basketball, go to the CBL and watch the CBL playoff games. If you're going to be in Gatineau, you can go to the game tomorrow. If you're going to be in Vancouver, you can go to the game tomorrow in Langley. So, yeah, CBL, Canadian product, Canadian goods, straight goods. I enjoyed it last night myself, and it was a fantastic game, a very good high-energy game with a good bang for your buck, a shirt for $35. And a third row seat at center court. You can't beat that, man. You can't beat that at all. That's right. Let's see. Seymour saying Utah women lead with the most plastic surgeries in the country. BB yells. Oh, really? I wouldn't have thought that. I would have thought that Utah women lead the country in sharing the same husband is what I would say. That's what it said. Big Love with Bill Paxton, right? Wasn't that old show that they had on TV? Big Love, the polygamist. And he had like 3 wives. And yeah, that show. You remember that show? Fierce's got Canada basketball on blast. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. All right, let's keep going. I'm going to go look at my tabs real quick. I did that. Raptors Reddit. What are you talking about today? Is there anything interesting? Let me see. There's the schedule and calendar form. That's pretty cool. There's the schedule there. Not really. There's somebody talking about the CEBL game last night that I went to, Scarborough and Montreal. Pretty exciting game. It was very exciting. No, there's nothing that new on Raptors Reddit today to react to. Let's see what else. Happy birthday once again to Bruno Fernando. He is 27 today. Bruno Fernando, of course, a Raptor last year, and another Raptor that was a Raptor last year. Bruce Brown, guys. It's Bruce Brown Jr.'s birthday today also. He is 29 today. So happy 29th birthday, Bruce Brown Jr., champion of the Nuggets, who has returned to the Nuggets this year to play with Jokic. So, yeah, former Raptor Bruce Brown and former Bruno Fernando, both birthdays for today's stream. There you go. Boom goes the dynamite. All right, let's get that classic cards right at 2 o'clock, 2 hours. Get this done, get this business done, and we'll get out of here on the day that Lex almost died. That's right. It really was like, oh, this is a good one. All right, guys, this one's pretty timely. All right, I'm going to have to hold the card weird because they put the name in two places. That's absolutely awkward. So I got to try and figure out how I'm going to hold this to kind of try and cover it up. All right, here we go. Full name answer, please. Full name answer, please. It's really hard to see him. Maybe I'll show it on the back. Let me see if this is how I can do it. This is really hard to see him. I can't see his face. Full name answer, please. First and last name answer. Yeah, Seymour knows. He knows this guy who's in a lot of trouble right now. Malik Beasley, who's in the problems with gambling. Malik Beasley, Timberwolves at this time. Seymour is very fast. Yeah, good job, Seymour. In some ways, I'm really impressed. Seymour's not one of the classic card juggernauts normally. It's smooth and slugged easy. But Seymour getting the Malik Beasley, I guess he's just really in the news right now. So Seymour's like thinking about Malik and like how he got evicted. And yeah, that's messed up. Yes. Seymour, you know what? Because it was hard to see, I'm going to give you 100 on that one. It was a hard to see card. And I'm kind of impressed with that. Yeah. The gambler, Jonte, sell partner soon. Yikes. Yeah. Michael Porter Jr., I commend you for speaking out on gambling. I think that your points are very well taken as far as I agree with them. There you go. Tomorrow, guys, Saturday, Share the Love Club for Norman Powell. Yeah, we're going to celebrate Norman's success with Team Jamaica and just being a great Raptors alumni as a champion. And just I'm glad he's back up here in Toronto today to hang out at Chubby's Jamaican Kitchen and do the Norman Powell and Friends event tonight. So, yeah, if you're in Toronto and you can get to that event, go on down there and see old Norm and celebrate Jamaica's success in recent games at the America pre-qualifier in Mexico. Yeah, that was good stuff, man. Yeah, when is Porter getting out? I don't know if you what do you mean, out of prison? I don't know. In some ways, I'm not worried about all that. I'm definitely not worried about all that. I'm also wondering if Canada is going to put charges on him after U.S. gets charges on him, because technically he did the crimes here in Canada, guys. And there is jurisdiction for Canada federally to charge him too. So it could very well be that he does his time with the U.S. and then he has to do time with Canada for that. It's like really dumb. He's such an idiot. Jonte Porter is so dumb. He's one of the dumbest people in the history of the world, seriously. But addiction really shaped him as part of it. Yeah, let's go. All right, y'all. Thanks for watching Raptor Freak Stream. Schedule is tomorrow, Norman Powell, Share the Love Club. Also in the afternoon tomorrow, a watch-along on Discord for the Scarborough versus Ottawa game. And then on Sunday, a special report going over the Raptor schedule and pointing out all the little interesting things about it. There's some very interesting things that I noticed about it, but I don't want to tell y'all yet. I'll tell you on Sunday. You got to have that cliffhanger. You know what I'm saying? There's some very interesting things about our schedule, and I'll tell you what I've seen there. Yeah, have a great Raptor Freak fam. Have a great one. Yeah. Thank you, Roger. I appreciate you supporting. And thank you, Isaac, for the fun. There's Scotty. I see Scotty. And there's Monique, the super fan. All right, let's go. Peace out, James. All right, guys, check your WNBA fantasy teams. We're on the home stretch for the playoffs, and have a great Friday. TGIF, Get out there and touch grass and enjoy your Friday, Raptor Freaks. Let's go basketball in Canada. Let's go CBL playoffs. Let's go Toronto Tempo in Vancouver. Let's go Global Jam at Mattamy Center this weekend with all the great basketball action from around the world. Team Canada, let's go. That's right. Let's go Raptors. And let's get ready for training camp in Calgary. And let's go on our preseason, and the schedule's coming fast. That's right. We're going to be in it again, in the thick of it. Reactions and previews coming from the Raptor Freak. Let's go.